Yes, thank you very much for joining me. This is Lawyer David Darko from Justice and Law Solicitors. Today we are bringing you an update all areas of immigration and nationality law in the UK. Some areas may be favorable to some people. Some areas may not be so favorable, but at least you will know exactly what is going down. And this is Home Office policy as at 18th of August. 2020. We're bringing you all the updates, no bend, no curve. And I believe that some areas, especially the COVID-19 policies, will be very, very, very beneficial to a lot of people. So we need to pay attention to that. We will also be looking at deportation and foreign criminal. When we say someone is a foreign criminal, what do we mean by that? And basically the law in relation to foreign criminals. Sometimes, when you say these things, people don't take it serious unless, someone find himself or herself in a situation when they will realize that in fact, there are laws out there that sometimes are not very, very, very sympathetic. This week, I feel that there is a need to go back to this area again. This is an area that we have covered previously some time ago, but I feel that there is a need for us to cover this area once again. Why do we need to cover this area again? I had a gentleman on the phone, and someone living here for 28 years and they're facing deportation. It is heartbreaking, but then again, the law is the law. I always say this, and I do remember one of my lecturers at university said, do not, get yourself confused with morality. The law is the law, and the law is different from morality. What one may perceive to be morally right today, the law may perceive that to be a criminal act, and vice versa. So it's important that when we are studying law, when we are doing law, we do what we do, separate it from what we may consider to be morally right or morally wrong. I don't want people to miss out on the program, so I'm going to do the best that I can, because some people struggle to find the link to watch the program live. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to play this music, and this tune is from Kojo Entry, Brebre Anoa. Let's listen to this tune. And whilst we are listening to this tune, I will also share the program as much as I can. And I will also encourage you that you also share the program for us. Madam Vim Lady Redding, ya chacha will be and anopay. And ya the new FM na ubia so etimi a share program no amaye. Yen share program no na enru a chire, because a share program na se edru a chire. Now, yes, so to educate our people, because this area that we are going to be talking about today is a very, very serious area that we need to be paying attention to. This week there has also been 2 audios going around within our community about a pastor shooting his wife, and also someone whose heart is being split into two by a gentleman, and so much has gone on. You know, all that it takes is for a split second for someone to commit an offense that may be deemed to be a criminal offense or a criminal conduct. The question, therefore, is, as long as it will attract certain form of punishment, after the punishment has been imposed and the sentence has been imposed and the person has completed the sentence, what is going to be next? That is the reason why it's important that we look at foreign criminal. Nobody, I don't think, anyone will set out that I'm just going to be a criminal, but sometimes circumstances put certain people into certain category. And it can be very, very sad, but that is life. These things do happen. And when it happens, the question is, what do you do? You know, when it happens, what do you do? So what we're going to do is we're going to take this tune, and then when we come back, then straight away, we will then continue the program. I will take the opportunity to share the program. I will also encourage you to share the program to all your loved ones so that they can also benefit from this program. This is from our brethren, Mr. Kojo Entry, bringing us this tune, Brebre Anoa, Eja Unyami Enshirawo. It is a new way, a common main yinara, or baby out Utimiko Awoso, SI Eba, or bar Utimi risking a life so that we can lead, we can live. And you know, enye asem kitwa, and emi say yedema idiagro. And you know, especially omame, yes, omame ni so di idiagro, because or risking a life so that you may live. And you know, very, very, very important. You know, still yede nyumbe fem, yede fem we ni yababaka. Na afi ni started program no. Nene, the first area that we'll be talking about will be deportation of foreign criminals in the UK. We need to understand the law. We need to understand what constitutes a crime. And we need to look at the punishment. Under what circumstances would the UK government impose deportation orders on foreign criminals? So that is the main topic today. And after that, we will look at Home Office policy, which is COVID-19 policy. And this is a policy that has just been published as at 18th of August, 2020. And this is it. You know, as you can see on your screen, this is Home Office new policy for most areas of immigration and nationality law. As you can see, it's this thick. But I'm going to do the best that I can and go through everything today. Some of the areas may benefit some people. Some of the areas may not benefit some people. But all that I say is let's do the best that we can. Go through. If it benefits you, you know, do not hesitate. Call us, Justice and Law Solicitors, and we will do the best that we can for you. You know, a lot of people are contacting us. A lot of people are very serious. They book appointment and they come in because they need genuine help. And there are some people who just want to be go fishing when it comes to law. They're going to be ringing, thinking that they are smart. Ask this lawyer a question, get a bit of an answer. Ask that lawyer a question, get a bit of an answer, and put it together. And most of the time, they end up messing up their cases. You know, ACAD, Bantama Balfour, Ubiesika Eshe Ubibotum. So if it is not your area, do the best that you can. Give it to someone who is competent to help you out. You know, I've seen someone, a journey of 2011 up to now, the person is still fighting for his immigration papers, because when he came to Justice and Law and we sorted the problem for him, instead of coming back, instead he started being his own lawyer. You know, and surprise, 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 only last week the person showed up again. I thought the person was even holding a British passport. And then the confession started that I have messed up for 9 solid years. And now I'm coming back to you. My wife is not prepared to follow me because he cannot take the embarrassment that he's going to face when he comes to your face. But for me, it's a business. I still have to take it and do the best that I can out of the situation. And I believe that we'll be able to sort the person out. So let's not repeat those mistakes. If you are one of those people, be very, very careful. Because we have people calling in every day. They are not prepared to come and see you, but they think that they owe you or you owe them a duty that you need to give them the information for free so that they can go and do their own stuff. If I have the time, I will give you the space and the time. But believe in me, you know, if it's not in your area, you're gonna end up messing up, and you're gonna end up spending more money to put it correct than actually getting the advice of a qualified person to give it to you from day one. Let's take this tune, and when we come back, by all means, we will continue the program. Don't touch the dial. Yes, thank you very much for joining us. Tina Ose Baby Fire, wherever you are, good morning to you. Mr. Emmanuel Eshan, thank you very much for joining us. Amway product, as you can see all the way down here. This from Amway. Nana Bob, good morning to you. Nana Efia Ejewa Bright Asari, good morning to you. Madam Helena Pamford, this song is for you. Good morning to you. Mr. Bismarck Nana Kwame, good morning to you. Mr. Bismarck Akwesi Adams, good morning to you. Obapa Yasapon, good morning to you. Boss Lady Bakope, Rosemary Edia, good morning to you. All mothers out there, this song is dedicated to you. enyum we enyuma very powerful pa. O say bre anowa eja onyame enhyira wo. Enya oba biara ana obenyam 9 months ede enigye awo eba amane nkwa. Enti bre anowa nyame enhyira. All mothers out there, may the anointing of God be upon you. And the good mothers out there, may the Lord Almighty bless you all in abundance. Enti enyuma, personally, it touches me. A very powerful song, because enye sebio obebiana owumpo a anase obenyimpo awo ana obabinya nkwa ahome enya ano akasa. Enti so o maame so mpo yi a ankonye mo na anko oyi wutugu ye eradication. The fact is say wetimi anyem 9 months are risking a life so that you may live. That is a sacrifice that must never, under no circumstances, should we forget. Under no circumstances should we challenge. Under no circumstances should we question that commitment or that dedication. Taking a risk of your own life so that you can save someone, so that you can give birth to someone. That is a selfless act. So for that reason, we need to appreciate our mothers, regardless of what. So mothers out there, thank you very much. And I know that most men will appreciate your sacrifices and also your efforts. You have made us who we are. Without Mother Nature, there will be no man. Mr. James Alote Swindon, good morning to you wherever you are. Thank you very much for joining us. May the anointing of the Lord Almighty be upon you wherever you are. The program, I will do the best that I can. And I will speak Twi in some ways that I can. And I will also do the program in English in some ways as I can. The reason being that some of our listeners are non-Twi speakers. And as a result, when it goes to Twi, they switch off and they don't get it. And some of our listeners too, when it's too much English, they also switched off and they don't get it. So today we're going to do the best that we can and mix the two so that there'll be something in for everyone. Well, where do we start? Today we are going to be discussing, or going to be talking about foreign criminals, deportation of foreign criminals, and also their human rights. Many a times within our community, we keep hearing people saying, but your son is British, but your daughter is British, but your wife is British, and therefore you cannot be deported from the UK. Today, let's pay attention to what the law says. And many places, I will do the best that I can and read the law. I will not even paraphrase it. I will read the law so that we sort of hear it firsthand. Primary information. It's not about me paraphrasing it and for someone to accuse me of maybe not explaining it well, but we will read exactly what the law says. And these things becomes an issue. It only becomes an issue when there is a high profile case where someone is facing deportation, where someone is facing removal from the UK. That is where the newspapers will publish it, and then the speculation, the agenda, and everything kicks in. So for me, I think it's very important that we do understand the law relation to foreign criminals. But before that, we need to understand what constitutes a criminal conduct, what constitutes a criminal act, and if the act is committed, what is the sentence that can be imposed? And if the sentence is imposed, then what will be the consequences if you are a foreigner living in the United Kingdom? So today we're going to go just like that, so that we get a better understanding about what the situation is, and what can be done, and what you need to do to avoid going into this sort of situation or scenarios. Like I always say, nothing is guaranteed in life. The only thing that is guaranteed in life is death. Eventually, one way or the other, we are all going to die at some point in our lives. The question that anyone asks, or one may ask, is when do you go and how do you go? Thank you very much. Thank you very much now Unapo for joining us. And Mr. Emmanuel Osei-Kwejo Wolverhampton, good morning to you. Do the best that you can and share the program for us as well, because today program is going to be brutal, fantastical, and fabulous. So tune in, and we have so much coming. So what I'm saying is, today the main topic is COVID-19 update. This is it. It's about 90 pages. I will summarize it and go through Home Office policy in the light of COVID-19, the current policies. There is something there that will be very, very useful to a lot of people. So tune in, and I believe that it will benefit you. Definitely, it's going to benefit you. So let's go. Let's look at this. Now, we're going to look at foreign criminals, deportation, and why that is the case. So we're going to be looking at that at the first segment of the program. Two, we will then move on to the Home Office policy and see what the policy says and what the policy is doing and what can be done. It's going to benefit some people. Some people it will not be too beneficial to some people, but sometimes that is how it is. If you know someone that is going to be, is going to benefit the person, let the person know. So that is how it is. And to the American ending, I say, American deportation was a European community, which make us say, nearby British, and TNT mean deportono. Obit make us say, Nuclear British, and TNT mean deportono. Obit make us say, on one cassa will get British, and TNT mean deportono. But an SFM renim. Now you share offenses, behavior be an associate be on ma a criminal offense. Now a criminal offense, what type of punishment and it me attractive? And that type of punishment is me attractive. Then the next bit in your friend is saying, it's me punish you. What is the consequences for the purposes of immigration and nationality law? That is what we'll be looking at today. In UK, the first thing that we need to look at in UK is say a kromwa sebio sebi. Mami nyako mechiachia o se enka sebio so be ka sebio anu aka ne baako. Ha, nyesa ka se sebi na che se o de asoso. Enti na ni na yesua akọ. Enti u ka sebio a ye ka ne baako, ye ka se sebio. You only say sebi. So this is how it is. People are sending stuff in. When you do question time now, you be reading in and yet me my answers. And the first area that I will talk about is the criminal law in this country. In the UK, as we know, we don't have what we call the written constitution, and therefore our laws are everywhere. Parliament will, will enact a statute, and that becomes part of the law. So over the years, there has been a lot of statutes. On top of my head, what I can remember is the 1860 statutes, which deals with the Criminal Offences Act, and they have all sorts of offences. And basically, in this country, the offences are categorized into three main types. And a kromwa offenses ni na yachemu miensa. The first type of offenses, ye friend, the summary offenses. Se kase summary offenses they are minor offenses. And it does not generally attract a prison sentence. Ebini say ebia motor traffic accident, ebia wa jump red light. Ebini say ebia untria fine. Ebini say ebia only insurance and driving, but you haven't caused any damage. Ebi ne say ebia ya impose fine wentria, ebi ne TV license, ebi ne say ebia occasional assault, ebi ne say preventing a police officer in the execution of his duty. Now say any serious, yet me treating as a minor offense. Now minor offense, most of the time it is dealt with by the magistrate court. So one would say it is disposed at the magistrate court, where the magistrate have a sentencing power of up to 6 months and a fine. In the magistrate court, the statutes and also the law have put obligation on the magistrate that this is an offense that carries a maximum sentence of maybe 2 months imprisonment, maybe 3 months imprisonment, maybe a community sentence. You shouldn't send the person to prison. A banisana, a summary offense. Now, see the situation, summary offense, generally speaking, is not imprisonable offense. And it can be disposed of in the community. And even where it is imprisonable offense, and after the magistrate will decide to impose prison sentence as part of the sentence, and you just a few days and then you come out. And your friend summary offense, and I say imprisonable offense, and therefore most of the time you will not go to prison. That is that one. And then the second category of offenses are called the trial by either way offenses. The trial by either way offenses. These are in between offenses. They are not too serious, but yet they are not serious. I don't know whether you get my drift. So it's like a honeho, and your offense, and you're too serious, it says you go to prison. And your offense, and you're so not serious, it says you jail, now we go scot free. Sometimes they say punish you with a bit of prison sentence. Now we get additional amount, and we call it trial by either way offenses. Ebini saying ebini theft. Last week you can theft him once. Yenya baba kwa is capital an account ma office when you free lunch. Any a hawa a de brain. Entina enubino no. Trial by either way offenses. Offenses are raising issues about dishonesty. So a bit so it's be occasional bodily harm, or actual bodily harm, where you commit, damage to someone. It can be tried by either way offense. And to try by either way offense, now a honeyhole offense, and yet too serious, and too not serious. And a honeyhole offenses, a beer, over na a beer, waka could break it in. So, who break it in, it can be done as criminal damage and burglary. However, a beer winning nipano. The circumstances will not make it so serious or too not serious, and therefore it will fall within what we call the trial by either way offenses. Now, trial by either way offenses, many a times it can go to magistrate court. The magistrate court may have the sentencing power to punish the person, but the person may say that I am not guilty and therefore I'm going to fight this case. So, the magistrate will give the person a choice, either to elect to be tried at the magistrate court or to go to Crown Court. So the person may be given a choice, and it will be up to the person to choose whether to go this way or that way. That's the reason I say try by either way offense, either by the magistrate court or by the Crown Court. Fair enough. And then we have the indictable offenses. Those are the very, very serious offenses, such as rape, such as murder, attempted murder, manslaughter, grievous bodily harm. These are aggravated offenses. These are offenses only prison sentence can justify, the punishment. And therefore, they are the most serious offenses. Now, let's look at the law for the purposes of immigration. Now, Yatise, at least we do understand. I said we have 3 categories of offenses. The summary offense, trial by either way offense, and then we have the indictable offenses. These are the serious offenses. You go to people's houses with ammunition to harm them, intention, rape, incest, manslaughter, any serious offense that you can think of. it falls within the definition of indictable offenses. Now, what does that got to do with immigration? It's got everything to do with immigration for the reasons which I'm just about to go into. For reasons which I'm about to dive into. We have section 32, subsection 5 of the UK Border Agency Act of 2007. It goes all the way back to 2007. That means this act has been in force for how many years? For 13 solid years. This act has been in force for how many years? 13 solid years. And I'm going to read. It mandates that unless certain circumstances apply, the Home Secretary must make a deportation order against a foreign criminal, defined in the same act as a person who has been convicted of an offense and sentenced to 12 months imprisonment as a result. 12 months imprisonment as a result. So, for example, you are a foreigner, you are a Ghanaian, Nigerian, Togolese, Jamaican, whatnot, Kenyan, and you are living in the UK, and you commit a criminal offense, and you get sentenced for at least 1 year in the UK, you will be deemed to be a foreign criminal within the definition of section 32(5) of the UK Border Agency Act of 2007. So you'll be deemed to be a foreign criminal if and only if you are not a holder of a British passport. So that will make you a foreign criminal. And to the American, UK Border Agency Act of 2007, section 32, subsection 5. Asama ekane say, a Home Office Secretary, and NASA in this case, Priti Patel, power and money to me, esa obia free kromu bia. Se okodi boni bi anase se dio se bio musuo bi anase esan empo bi etono. Na se ye sentence nipa no e de ne ko afiase anase ye sentence ne se ye mfa ni nko afiase for bosumi a etoso dumienu enko adea. Any Secretary of State eye ekromu aban oda immigration anono se feni Priti Patel no otimi eye dean otimi etwro enkrata e de to ukomu anase utiri so ese yemfa wonfiri ekromu a enko enti sana emrane kan eye mandatory unless it gives exceptions, unless there are exceptional circumstances which will make it undesirable, which will make it unheard of, which will make it impossible for the foreign criminal to be deported from the UK. Yebekum na yama examples. Se utimi prove, because Act na ankasa under section 33(2)(a, the ekane say individual na oya foreign criminal no se ewo se yede woko na se wo betimi approve to the court and to the Secretary of State ese se yede woko a ebe breach your human rights under Article 8 of the European Convention of Human Rights there. Then in that case, na ewo se Secretary of State ekwe sign and ase osai ehwe case ni biem. Na Article 8 no so no enye stand alone right, enye automatic right, ye friend a qualified right. E ka se bibi e qualified right eno no e kire say before say ubetime nya the benefit of it, it comes with conditions. And he said, "Utimi satisfy those conditions, dear." Na no say a be unreasonable, and I said it will due to harsh consequences to you and your family if you have a family life under Article 8 of the European Convention of Human Rights. Na emre pi no eno na ebimode omani ato so say owo ba de a enye yentimi mfane nko enye sa na emra ne ka o emra ne say say o commit offense and say sentence for more than 12 months, the Secretary of State must make a deportation order. Eti emre piro obehu ye nuanom bi na sentence o to prison ebia 2 years, or sentence half of the sentence na home office where you omuti no ma shase started deportation proceedings. I just had a wonderful chat with this gentleman over the course of the week. And similar situation. Last 2 weeks, similar situation. Almost every week we get cases like that. And I felt it is important that I come in here and share this with you and explain the law so that we know where we stand. So, if you can prove that there are exceptional reasons in terms of Article 8 and the European Convention of Human Rights, then, and you are able to prove that it will breach your right, then of course you may have a case to fight against the threat of deportation. So, it goes like this. As I explained, the rule is that if you're a foreigner, you commit an offense, more than 12 months imprisonment, you face automatic deportation, unless, of course, there are exceptional circumstances on the basis of Article 8 in which you could actually fight your case to stay in the UK. There are offenses that may not attract deportation. These are summary offenses and try by either way offenses. So the most serious offenses, if you are sentenced to 4 years or over imprisonment, you will face automatic deportation. No doubt about that. And as I explained, if you can prove that there are exceptional circumstances, there are compelling circumstances, as you should not be allowed or as you should not be forced to leave the UK, then deportation may not happen. However, if you are a medium offender, that is the try by either way offenses, and you are sentenced between 1 to 4 years imprisonment, or you are a persistent offender, and the cause or the offense that you have committed has caused serious harm, then once again you will face deportation, unless one of these 3 categories apply in your case. You have private life exception. I will explain this. 2, family life exception. That is if the prison sentence is between 1 to 4 years. But if the prison sentence is more than 4 years, you are category 1 offender, and therefore they don't joke with deportation proceedings. So we need to be aware of this. If the sentence is between 1 to 4 years, you are medium offender. This relates to the try by either way offenses. And if you are, a small player, summary offense, then you don't face automatic deportation. However, if you're a medium offender, try by either way offenses, the exception is the private life exception, family life exception, and very compelling circumstances exception. Now, let's look at the private life exception. 1, if you are lawfully resident in the UK for most of your life. Maybe you come into the UK, you have spent a lot of your life in the UK. You came in as a child, you've been to college, you've been to school, you've done charity work, you are very active in your community, and maybe the sentence, the nature of the offense. For example, maybe you are just, walking about and you are smoking something that you shouldn't be smoking. And you get arrested, you are sentenced to 2 years imprisonment. You came here at the age of 5 You are now 30 years. You are doing a decent job. You have your own. You don't have any criminal past. And basically, it was a one-off. In that case, you could, fight on the basis of lawful resident in the UK. 2, socially and culturally integrated in the UK. Once again, maybe you have a child in the UK, you have, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, and so on in the UK. And therefore, you believe that, you have been able to have social and cultural integration life in the UK. And the third category is significant obstacles to integration into your home country. Maybe you have been living in the UK for so long, watching a Krumwa for a very, very long period of time. And therefore, going back is not something that will be conducive. If you will lose family members, friends, and therefore you cannot reasonably be expected to go back. If you fall within the medium rate of offenders, then these are the areas that you should be looking at. And in fact, I just had a case this week, and the person is a medium offender. The person was sentenced to prison for 3 years. After 1 year, the person, 1.5 years, the person has been given, he's been released. He's been granted a license, and he's been released. And on the basis that he doesn't do anything stupid. And it is hope that he will not do anything stupid to jeopardize his freedom and liberty. So we're praying and hoping. And after speaking to him, I said, you know what, I need to see you face to face, meet up, and see the best that we can do for you. And as I speak to you, this person is facing deportation. Home Office are at his back, and they are not joking at all. He's been through different lawyers, and he doesn't seem to be able to find an answer. So I've asked him to come down and see me. We're going to sit down and basically take detailed instructions. He came here as a youngster, but now he finds himself in this situation. But we will do the best that we can to help him out. And hopefully, inshallah, hopefully we'll be able to do some wonders for this gentleman. Okay. Now, these are the exceptions in which you could use. The next one that I talked about was the family life exception. This is where sometimes it gets a bit difficult for some people. The reason being that they may have children, but they may not be playing any meaningful role in their children's lives. And therefore, it makes it very, very, very difficult. So if you have a child in this country, it's very, very, very important. Either the child is British or the child has been living here for 70 years. It's very, very important that you demonstrate that you are a father to a child. You are a father to the child, not a sperm donor and not a chop money giver. In this country, when we say you are a father to a child, that means you play a role in the child's life, in terms of the child's education, in terms of money, in terms of religion upbringing, in terms of medication and health. It's very, very, very important that we do understand this. Many a times culturally, where we come from, we lack certain things, and some of these are as follows. Because most of the time, men will be out there working. Unfortunately, they don't get the time, or they don't make the time to accompany their children, in some cases to school. In some cases, parent evenings, they don't get time to attend. In some cases, they don't drop and pick the children from school. In some cases, they don't take them to hospital appointment. And in some cases, they don't take them to church or mosque or the temple. And as a result, when you need to prove that you are involved in your child's life, it becomes an issue. Why does it become an issue? It becomes an issue in the sense that those in authority, those in control, they have not seen you. And therefore, you ask them for a confirmation letter confirming your involvement in your child's life, since they have not seen you, since they don't know you, it is impossible for them to write such letters for us. In order for us to be able to big up or beef up our cases. Because of that, many a times when we submit such an application, it gets rejected, it gets refused, because we don't do what? Because we don't take these children to the relevant organizations in order for them to write the relevant letters for us. It is a problem within most of our communities. But order, I say to you, if you're a mother, you're a father, and you don't do these things, and especially you don't have papers, it is important that you step up and you start playing a role in this way, so that when they need be, they will then be able to do what? To write a letter to support you. When it comes to deportation cases as well, sometimes social workers or social services may be involved. And when they are involved, sometimes you will be expecting them to write a supporting letter to the parent who is facing deportation. And the impact of deportation on the child in question. Many a times in cases that I've heard of, sometimes the social workers, it becomes a bit difficult for them to write such letters. And sometimes they simply distance themselves away from the case. But then again, if there is no evidence that you as the parent facing deportation, you are involved in your child's life, the social worker is not going to risk their certificate to make up stories for you. And therefore, in some of these cases, they will simply look away, because they also have to protect their professional certificate and their professional integrity. So this is all that it is. The last bit, or the next bit, is the genuine and subsistent relationship with a settled partner. If you are in a genuine relationship and persistent relationship with a settled partner, being British or someone with indefinite leave to remain, then of course you can also use this as a family life exception to fight your case. It is not an easy area to deal with, but especially when it involves children. If you are not getting the report from the social services, in fact, you can go private and get a social worker to prepare a social report or welfare report on the child. And in the light of Section 55, you know, what is in the best interest of the child, the social worker will then sit down and do a proper detailed report to support such applications, or to support basically to support such applications. So it is important for me that when you are doing such applications, or someone is facing deportation, it's important that you get a welfare report or a social report from a qualified social worker, who would then be able to write a very detailed report about your family setup and the impact of your absence and how it will be on the child, and whether it's going to be good or bad. All these are persuasive stuff that can be commissioned and that can be used to support your application. So if you are watching me today, right now, and you know someone facing deportation, the person has got family life, i.e. the person has got a child in this country, or the person is in a serious and committed relationship with someone who is settled in the UK, get in touch, take the phone, call Justice and Law Solicitors, and we will do the best that we can, obtain the necessary evidence for you, and fight your case against deportation. This also becomes necessary, this report, if you are making an application to the UK Border Agency and you are lacking evidence in terms of evidence of being involved in your child's life, or perhaps you are facing deportation. If you get in touch with Justice and Law Solicitors, we can make referral to a social service organization that may be able to come in and basically interview all concerned and write very detailed report to support such applications. So that option is also there for you. The last bit is in terms of those people who may face criminal sentence of less than 12 months. The rules or the Home Office policy says if the punishment is less than 12 months, then you do not even have to make an order for deportation. So we need to be aware of this, so that when someone is facing deportation, we must understand that even judges, their hands are tied behind their back, and they don't have too much discretion, because the Home Office will be looking at what we call the public interest. Is it in the public interest to make sure that this person is detained and this person is deported from the UK? And if the answer is yes, the next question is, does the person have family life in the UK? If the answer is yes, then you need to look at the level of relationship, of the level of the family life that the individual has in the UK. And then the assessment will then be made whether to deport the individual or not. So this is what it is. And this is the first segment of the program. Let's go to Paradise City and play a commercial advert. And then when we come back, we will continue with the program. Thank you very much for tuning in. Whilst we're taking this short break, I will encourage you to share the program for us, so that those people who are not aware of us, or those people who are struggling to find us, hopefully through your link, they will be able to also to listen to us. So that's all that I can say for now. And as it can be demonstrated, it does not matter whether your child is British. It does not matter whether your wife is British. If you commit a criminal offense that attracts a prison sentence of more than 12 months, automatic deportation considered. So therefore, we need to be aware of this. If you're aware of this, it matters not whether your child is British or not. If you committed the offense, you have to do the crime, and you have to once you do the crime, you have to take the offense and also the punishment that comes with it. And together, there may also be deportation proceedings after you have finished your sentencing. And therefore, it's important that we do understand the basics and the fundamentals. So let's take this commercial break. We come back and we continue on the program.
Metaphor, we yamanka, wow, what I papa be our Ghana, and so a num no cry asantino, who send ya who bet manisika, say yes, you what you mouth. It's in a Paradise City. You did this beautiful ultramodern city, Upper Tema, Community 25, Whooper Standard, Executive, Semi-Executive Quality Buildings, Yenny Paradise City, you home out. It's as if you approach Abagana, your payment terms, and a phone book call, open self-finance, and as a mortgage, Paradise City. Oh, your telephone numbers, so UK, +447 908 475 802. Paradise City. Jumapa, Magana, Yefe, Ankasa. Metaphor, we yamanka, wow, would I probably our Ghana, and so a num no cry asantino, who send ya who bet manisika, say yes, you what you mouth. It's in a Paradise City. You did this beautiful ultramodern city, Upper Tema, Community 25, Whooper Standard, Executive, Semi-Executive Quality Buildings, Yenny Paradise City, you home out. It's as if you approach Abagana, your payment terms, no so, and a phone book call, open self-finance, and as a mortgage, Paradise City. Oh, your telephone numbers, so UK, +447 908 475 802. Paradise City. Jumapa, Magana, Yefe, Ankasa.
And I get to you now. We shall be more party as I was on Katama. I'm so big opening. And when I made a man, yeah, we did. What's up, Boom? If you be fixing food, potato go.
I don't.
Hey, go, the woman above me, I come to you.
Ladan Major French album that I don't know, baby.
What you are coming, you have the home because if you can see him for.
Now, I don't want to have my own channel, what else if you hate.
Now you only remember can't you? And I wouldn't also go and got a movie with you saw it or you okay.
You. Mesremo P. We are said here, Obian Ho Chief for Sempacoto, and then Remonso dear, Obian Ho Betanaho, a matter bad horse or one coming, and intimate Row, Sabancata, some Quandia, Nessa Winnie Crata, Ukruma, no young Crata, Miss Row, a Jumabaco pet, and a make for a mount, and no one justice and law solicitors. Lawyer, a friend, or painter could David, a hof, and a or, never immigration, some landlords and tenants, family, legal documents, civil litigation, wills, and employment issues. Nina, Papa, Odihu Juma, oh, that Miss Ramo, Mababa to Munia, make us a move. Monfamo Bosso, Tom. Now, okay, a Papa, to me, I come to Conina, my said, there will be a Jew, can run Basso, which I know to your body. Nina, lawyer Benda, could Nina, Hujuma, Nania, and Nika, I want to say, why you talk of Chinese, a Vamremudia. So what you was a vessel on you, Papa, only is in France here. But you have another also. You, me pacho, Obenu, Justice and Law for a War, Unit 35. Eurolink Business Center, 49 FR Road, Preston, SW2 1BZ. Now the telephone number any 020-7738-5841, and I say the mobile number 075-3896-9589. Miss Row, and then they said the migration for senior pre-Ukrumhano. Share and one travel armor and for now quiet. It's a free no crudie. Found Carter Semina, Equadine, Justice and Law Solicitors. Hey, also, so you want the way you are on idea, see, I feel my idea of Babu Coffee. And yes, she, Penisi, will finance up of a bag, Yinchi. And I'm saying, lawyer Benda, a pattern also saw what young Ghana 43 winty. Maybe there be a free and a Padubaco, a couple, a Riadonco, lawyer Exna, a Fidia, a Fire Life Radio, so excellent, Mem, into a free memory die, a Benjamin Dakabia, for Fidia to Fire Life Radio, not see a lawyer and a Mremun Sem Elho. Tifina Gradier, Justice and Law Solicitors, the bar near the
Well, thank you very much. We are back from the commercial break. Let's continue the program. Once again, like I said, this Home Office policy is a very, very thick document. We cannot go through page by page, but what I would do is to give a summary of the parts that I think will be beneficial to some of our listeners, so that we can also read questions that people have posed and answer it for them, and we can also activate the telephone lines for people to call in and ask any question that they may have, so that we can also answer it for them. It's now 12 o'clock. We are aiming to finish the program around 1 o'clock or latest by 1:30. We have to bring the program to an end. I've got a lot of stuff that I need to do today. A lot of people have called me and left messages. I haven't been able to return their calls, so that I can also use this afternoon, this opportunity to call those people back. As we know, because of COVID-19, a lot has changed. Even the court, cases that has gone before the court have come back with so many different policies and implementation, and even conducting a hearing. How you go about in conducting a court hearing cases. At the moment, it's a bit of a nightmare because everything new is very, very difficult to circumvent. However, as time progresses and you get used to it, the mistakes are corrected, things will become a little bit easy. But as it is now, things are very, very tough for lawyers as well, because we are all trying to find our feet and to deal with the new reality. So if you've called me, you are unable to get me, please exercise patience, bear with us, because our task at the moment is impossible task, because we're trying to save so many people and trying to do the best that we can to help people. So no doubt, people are going to call, they're not going to reach us because of the fact that we are also helping other people, and the demand has also gone up. And as a result, we are struggling, but we are doing the best that we can to address some of the issues that people have. Some people have legitimate issues. Some people just want to ring you and waste your time. It's all good. That we will do the best that we can to help people out. That is what we have put ourselves out there to do. So if you call and you don't get me, you just have to exercise patience and bear with us. However, if you want it guaranteed, ring office, book appointment, and come in. That time slot is guaranteed to you. You know, so if you want to pay for the services, then of course ring the office and book appointment. If you want it for free and you want us to do it for free for you, then of course you have to bear with us so that we do it under our own terms as well. You know, so that's how it is. To work with us so that we can also work with you, and we thank you and we appreciate your support. So that is what I can say in regards to that. Not only that, if you call the courts, you'll be lucky for someone to pick up the phone. It's also impossible there. Even the Home Office, as we all know, they went on a break because of the COVID-19. Recently that they've come back, and basically they are going through their backlog, and as a result it has caused a lot of delay in the processing of visa applications and whatnot. You know, you can think about that. So it is the reality, it's the new reality that we are all dealing with. So if you have just tuned in, once again, share the program for us. 1 chapter a day will keep the devil away. That's the way it is. So let's do the best that we can, and you know, and cover as much as we can. Home Office, as 18th of August 2020, yet again has come up with a new policy. Home Office once again has come up with a new policy. And what does the policy say? It is contained in a 94-page document. And for me, the most important areas I think that it will benefit our people is what I'm going to be looking at. As you can see here, coronavirus concession. I hope you can see from the screen. Coronavirus concession, or coronavirus COVID-19 concession, as you can see on your screen. I'm going to read this to you so that we know where we stand. I will also, you know, explain this in key. A commitment has been made to ensure family and private life applicants are not unduly affected by reasons beyond their control due to COVID-19. The pandemic may have caused disruption to travel plans, causing breaks in continuous lawful immigration status / residency requirement. Due to the impact of COVID-19, some applicants seeking to start, extend, or complete a route to settlement on the basis of family or private life may be unable to meet the immigration status, continuous residence eligibility requirements of Appendix FM due to COVID-19. This may be due to travel restrictions, closures, or inaccessibility to a visa application center, or illness. What the Home Office says is this: ordinarily, there is no flexibility for you to exercise in allowing the lawful immigration status and continuous residence eligibility requirements to be met. However, you may exercise discretion to allow an applicant to start, stay, or extend or apply for further leave or complete a route to settlement despite them being in the UK as a visitor or with leave of 6 months or less, in country or overseas for a short period without leave, where it is shown that they were not able to travel or apply due to COVID-19 between 31st of March and 31st of August 2020. This is an advice to the caseworkers that when they are making decisions, ordinarily, there is no flexibility, i.e. they cannot use discretion. However, because of the COVID-19, now they have been given discretion to use. If, for example, someone has become overstayer, if, for example, someone has come in as a visitor, because of COVID-19, he couldn't go back, and therefore the person could apply to stay here. It doesn't mean you make the application, they will give it to you, but you are eligible to apply. If you put your case well, then of course you get a stay, you get to stay in the United Kingdom, and you have evidence to back it up. So it is very, very important that we don't just go out there and start speaking, say, Home Office, the policy, or the visitors visa, it does not work like that. You need to be able to link it to COVID-19 as well as other factors in the UK why you want to stay in the UK. So it's not as simple as some people make it sound like, or make it feel like, or make it look like. It's very, very important that we are aware of this. So now, Home Office is saying that now they have given the caseworkers discretion. Before COVID-19, there was no discretion. Totally, they just have to refuse you. But the caseworkers are now being told to take into consideration other factors and look at a discretion. Is this person's case genuine? Does this person really mean what he's saying? So that is how it is. Now, it also goes on to say that the caseworkers can disregard a short period of time spent overseas where leave to enter or remain expired, and an applicant could not return to the UK to renew their leave due for leave to enter as soon as practicable. Okay, so basically, obi ohonoma okita indefinite leave to remain visa, for example. Ebia or your business be or Ghana, it's a chroma crown person better be. And him say indefinite said the within 2 years biana I was will travel. And he said when to me and travel, I'm back to the UK, you lose your right to stay. So imagine that someone is living in Ghana, the person wanted to come to the UK in April, maybe 10th of April, and because of the COVID-19, planes were not flying in and out, and such an individual, how can you punish them for it? It's not possible, and therefore we need to be able to distinguish between each case, because every case is different from the other. It may sound the same, it may feel the same. However, you'll be surprised that when you go deep, that is where you realize that each case is different from others, and therefore the outcome too will be different from others. So sometimes it's not good. Someone will say, "Oh, Madam Fubia, you say, then I made the problem." And what problem because of circumstances, and not done for the circumstances. Then you're the same. Until Anna Yenshani may be so. So we like comparison. I shall be a mistake because we're done for the crown. So we are aware say, every crane the crane no catch. I'm not saying send a crane or catch, but 9 out of 10 cases that sometimes people get into argument that come to us. Once you start asking the right questions, you could see that the individual has done something totally different from the individual that we may be talking to. So it's important that we sort of look at this issue very, very, very attentively and very, very carefully. And when you know, as you saying COVID-19 Home Office policy, as you saying, Home Office is saying, the more air can you say what the chroma now the limited visa and put a buy. Not because of COVID-19, you can apply to extend your visa. But any application you will make, and also now they come up with their own policy and criteria, in which you have to be able to overcome or you have to be able to satisfy. So it's not as simple as sometimes people make it look like or what people say. So yes, there is a provisions that states under the COVID-19 principles. What they say is that you could apply to become lawful in the UK, United Kingdom, if you came with a short visa. And typically people come up with 6 months visa. Some people become an experienced trauma and therefore they are unable to go. They are now moving from one place to another. In this case, if they come for a visit and they have a strong case, family life and private life, of course they should be able to perhaps look into this for making an application to regularize their stay. Justice and Law, we are around. If you want us to help you, by all means, we will help you. We will do the best that we can to assist as much as we can. Anything, say what about Krumwa and I saw to Krumwa because of COVID-19 into Untimi and Kofia UK Abina Ediator said there is a possibility ubetimi aye application under Appendix FM of the immigration rules or under Article 8 of human rights. And Tianfan say what about Krumwa no obesra oba tabaso yese woko because of COVID-19 into anya de wentimi anko ebani sana question we say is there any chance you can make application to stay here? The answer in the light of this policy says yes, you can make such an application. But before you make the application and I say you submit the application, I was say we alert to say there is every chance say Home Office will dig and dig and dig and dig and dig before they are satisfied that you deserve to stay in this country. So it's something that I think is down to the individual. If you want us to help you, get in touch with Justice and Law Solicitors. Unit 35B, 49 Ephra Road, Brixton, London, SW21BZ. Get in touch with us. We can do you justice. Or you can also call our office to book appointment to come and see us. We will do the best that we can for you, because you may have come in with the intention of going back, but your circumstances has changed, and Home Office recognizes that. That is the reason why they've come up with this concessionary policy, in which we could also help you with. Let me take this quick break, and when I come back, I'll do the last segment, which can also help people who are step parents, or perhaps they are in a relationship with a mother whose child is British. We will come to that. There are people also fall within that category. We will do the best that we can to do what? To help you out. Yes. So let me take this quick one.
Yes, Justice and Law Solicitors bring you true justice that gives you peace of mind. They are specialists in all cases of immigration and nationality law, including customary marriage and ECC applications, landlord and tenant issue or housing issues, divorce and financial arrangements, drafting of legal documents such as statutory declarations for lost passports, personal injury, will writing, employment issues, letting and leasing arrangements. Talk to the experts today. Don't attempt any legal issue without them. Take advantage of their free consultation on some cases and be informed. You can call Justice and Law Solicitors on 02077385841 or email legal@justiceandlawsolicitors.com. They are located near Carousel Halford, Unit 35B Eurolink Business Center, 49 Ephra Road, Brixton, SW21BZ. You can travel by the Victoria Line to Brixton and by bus 2-337-415-432-689 and 690.
The bus stop is St. Martin's Church.
Justice and Law Solicitors don't handle a legal issue without contacting them. Oh yes, Justice and Law Solicitors bring you true justice that gives you peace of mind. They are specialists in all cases of immigration and nationality law, including customary marriage and ECC applications, landlord and tenant issue or housing issues, divorce and financial arrangements, drafting of legal documents such as statutory declarations for lost passports, personal injury, will writing, employment issues, letting and leasing arrangements. Talk to the experts today. Don't attempt any legal issue without them. Take advantage of their free consultation on some cases and be informed. You can call Justice and Law Solicitors on 02077385841 or email legal@justiceandlawsolicitors.com. They are located near Carousel Halford, Unit 35B Eurolink Business Center, 49 Ephra Road, Brixton, SW21BZ. You can travel by the Victoria Line to Brixton and by bus 2-337-415-432-689 and 690.
The bus stop
stop is St. Matthew's Church. Justice and law solicitors don't handle a legal issue without contacting them. Oh yes, Justice and Law Solicitors bring you true justice that gives you peace of mind. They are specialists in all cases of immigration and nationality law, including customary marriage and ECC applications, landlord and tenant issue or housing issues, divorce and financial arrangements, drafting of legal documents such as statutory declarations for lost passports, personal injury, will writing, employment issues, letting and leasing arrangements. Talk to the experts today. Don't attempt any legal issue without them. Take advantage of their free consultation on some cases and be informed. You can call Justice and Law Solicitors on 02077385841 or email legal@justiceandlawsolicitors.com. They are located near Carousel Harvard, Unit 35B Eurolink Business Center, 49 Efra Road, Brixton, SW21BZ. You can travel by the Victoria Line to Brixton and by bus 2337 415 432 689 and 690. The bus stop is St. Matthew's Church. Justice and Law Solicitors don't handle a legal issue without contacting them.
Thank you very much. We are back again. The last segment of the program before we call Mr. Ishan Amway and in the kitchen and Komo Kakra. The last segment of the program, no area so it affected a lot of people. Obi onma onim krata, but onim say based on the circumstances a bit me idea aboa no. Enti eno so yebeka ho asem. Eno do edi asem na ye kan fa ho. Ye can be about say only obite and I say only obi a relationship. We talk about the family life here. Ebia enipa ne woba enipa ne ba no wafa akra ne se woba. You are involved in the child's life and therefore opese usudi gina so edepe enkrata. Yes, emra wo ho a ema ho kwan sa. Enti no article 8 also betimi agina so the idea of fighting for your papers. But ni nyina no ana ebehia say you are a father to the child and I say you are a mother to the child, and you must always play a role in the child's life. They are very, very important. You must always play a role in the child's life. And for example, if say only partner be netewa, then you have to make sure say akrane life you are involved. Ebia akrane school come you are involved. Akrane religious upbringing you are involved. Akrane oyarin pony neko ayare sabia hospital you are involved. Now say if that is the case, now say you have the evidence to back it up. Or the Justice and Law Solicitors. Yes, so you bet me Eddie a home juma idea amount. Now also what me Eddie secure home. Now said ye enema esi air chrome one mono. A bedroom rebia a mube ediama amount for pa, especially say uni paper or the tea chrome one man. Sesia ye came everything bibia ye biano, omo ye de omo de co angomemu anaso de ko angomaso se ka se de ko angomemu anase angomaso anase de ko ehyen mu a ewiem a ene sen ebia ne se sen oye application a obitimi ko ententen yi so okọ ententen yi so a otimi hu umfo nyini enye tse de nipa no usitie nyina se so no utwa picture mpo akofi ho no ma picture no omo so omo mpede wako studio akwa na embom fa o phone ye fe ne smartphone ye fe twa picture no na wo de phone e twa picture na se wo hwe a hwe se de quality ni sitie utimi se utimi hu di pade di man kasa ne skin ni nyina se horse bi o baabi kura na ni nyina eyiba enti ebia ene wo ye osaman wo de obi anim nenenam na emre bi ba untimi mfa obi anim enenam biem untimi mfa obi anim sebio enko baabi se ode kwa akopɛ adwuma biem because ukwa enipa no ebetimi enya access ewo ahoma anase ententen nim a bibia fa ho a ewo fie ho bia no oni akro no betimi enya access na wahwe na ohwe sa infoni nso na senya wo a ohun ya obehu because infoni a sese yesi mu ntwamra no infoni no eye clear to say fire live radio enti no eba ne sa na se bi oso de obi anim ne nama ohun be kire na omo chiro seso a sese ba be foreign criminal because sese ye fe bibi say theft act so ho say wakofa obi mfonyini anaso wakofa obi bibi na say eno na ode kwakọ pa adwuma edo no omsi wakọ wia obi anim anaso wakọ yi obi niema ana wakwakọ ye de ode kwakọ pa adwuma enti eno soso no eno so another offense enti be wie no na prison sentence ede beto so no na eye more than afe enti eye afe a etwa ho no afe na criminal law me fa say UK Border Agency Act 2007 section 32-35 no eno soso ayiniti ese so a foreigner na so a criminal dia ene ye mfa ne nko enti ewon susu so bibra eba nti ye nuanom mesre ese bebo ehu modern na ya de en yetu anamon enkata na wini bia jiro ho ne ko bi ne ko ye bi se European Union ye free mu no busa ho se ososo ede na e wose wo ye na oso de ball ho oso de ball ho ban because oto na se wa anya hwe a e bedroom re bi no untimi ntina sa asasi so a eye abrofo asasi so enti no yemo ye ho modern na yenye the best that we can say eso ko seek advisor don't stay at home na nyo ho say wo de se bi wo dane ageman wo de wo nko no aba obi nkomra na omesoku ne di. It doesn't work that way. Na wo se wan kasa so no utimi edien etu anamo kakra na usutimi ede ye wo niema because any message wo kromu a sesi a yi applications any their family members their brother can say you need to do what you need to make sure say what changing status from permanent residency to settlement status obiso wenya visa and the yi bia no yese kwaye de settlement status libi so second settlement status ni mpo sabio wanim nyina eda amatentan ne so eho ana sabio bi pese or verify say whether say abayama kwan se faye adwuma eho na nipa be akọ verify sa picture so body there utimi zoom in utimi zoom out ana emani ye very very clear ese de ese enipa we eyo no ana se enye wo no because for example bebe corner se twa me sa picture ni bia manim features ni nyina ebe pia ba se nipa no se tokro kakra bi da ne hampo a ni nyina epie ba nipa na mo so se lines bi da hanoma ni nyina epie ba ema unhu ne very very clear pa te se de ma ben camera na o hwe manim na unhu mi facial features no ema ne ba clear enti so bi ko na se o se yemia na se hwe nipa no na se bia se bi odenti bi mpo ena ne hanoma obon se akwakofa asemaba enti enema eboboba enema ehyehyeba enti no yenua no yentu anamo papa na ensi yie enye saa ede ahokyere na ebeboa ebebreye because of time factor now about 12:30 and then person me wie program no on time na mitimi ye mitimi ekoye de e wose meye adwuma gume so pa ana amanfo susu gume so na almost say from mitimi enfre wo. As I speak to you, I'm getting text messages. Oh, lawyer, you're supposed to call me yesterday. Oh, this is Obin family. This is this. This is that. Yeah, some more. Okay. Yeah, and something also. And you know, Obeni the you know. Obisa send a message. Can I talk to you? I am on air. Inti mekasa inye ye besremo. Mo amode requested by at the all times. You know. Say intimi amfra. Mama nyama gwe say bia. Ye ignore Debbie and sanity and and you know by all means when the time is right between Makasa and you know and then per friend Mr. Ishan Amway na one yetwetwe enkomo kakra na afi you know ye bi amatro for ni too na yetimi de yetimi answer more calls them phone calls any questions are enkrofo so I pose ato ye friend say afidie so na metimi answer so ama wo obi bia be free bia so no e betimi answer question ama kama so be so text so a obetimi a text enti sane atie yes aka Mr. Ishan. Hello, good afternoon, good morning.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Nyame ene ye wo ho
Amen.
Na ene anopai ene wie etiefo aye krado a omo twen ho. Omo hu se me display ni ma bebre e wa hanamo. Na ene yene wo twen komo Amway. When you win MFF packaging is very, very nice. Your friend is Amway product foam shaving gel. And anybody that made a tremono, courtesy of Mr. Amway, Mr. Ishen, and then on the above train Komokakra. Jumedia Yedi, and also per se Oboa pa. I'll see the in the Niso about 2 weeks ago, or Frey show you as a diabetes machine. Any blood pressure machine and also or the bibeba na yediama yetiefo ni bi na ebosa na aya yehu nipa na yemfama no enti aya na over the past weeks aya ye quiz and I say ye raffle do be ni na yediama no enti ele ne sabebe kan say die na che say ye mana kasa kakra aya no bi o ka say hey ene papa ne kan ne ho ni nyina eboa omo boaye na yetimi begina every Saturday anopa bia no enti ne yentie de ono so e de brey na aya na de am kasa asem we uhu product na ma bo hu modin ne tobi because eye ososo ebeboa me loyada committee we use so many of their products courtesy of Mr. Ishen na daroma ama obi hu bi on say hey when people are growing old you are growing young because you have to be prepared to spend quality. You have to be prepared to spend on quality things. And now also so na ema ohidiem look fresh and young all the time. Na se de bia beto to niema enye papa na so de akọ ohidiem you are speeding up your death because chemicals bebrebe enya dia eboai. Intimidation se wabade a ene manenko. E de na wo ma ye ne.
All right. Mr. Daku, the Amiasi. Number to so I'm a Quinja, say, many with for Ghana community. A domina or more, and my school. Young to change come on and far your unim diahu. Basically, Yatini Dean say, Omofano, diabetes. Yatini Dean February or pharmacy. Or watch it in the brain. But my doom is to cock a crap. Nay, who say, near AC, a young one. Now, say, Bombardin say, prevent near Apple, where you wouldn't give me no name at dinner. In this case, diabetes, or 2 types of diabetes. May old baby who about 6 almost say diabetes mellitus. That diabetes mellitus, no, on an diabetes, no, a drink. Number Bojamu Yarwa, and also dealing with the glucose system. You want your ecostro, say, will see, or find them the blood sugar ecostro. Your casa blood sugar as a glucose. If you are near you didn't call your human piano, only now or turning into the glucose, and that's your friend glucose. Into no spiking. He did say that much carbohydrate bisa no was like and yet nature say the BNC. Sometimes we do all diabetes so when we say we did it there for anyone young signal which means that Diana Udino the woman and ye in other words in carbohydrate no man a dose be brave. Your type 1 diabetes are on your autoimmune system Yarwa your autoimmune disease. Into Nanosoya and say on a walk in Namnum and it is here in Kaka. So was but was the type 2 Yamiadima quickly, which me to start true lifestyle. No name, I didn't know your product is here because Amway product, plant-based product. Nasa wota wudia ya me ya aduma be yi ni na efi ho na kiso wo be ye exercises na den kakakra no so aka won which me abo ma ho na mbia na I fine the chete we can change mbere babba o so na osno bia na the body system no bia na the cells ya me abo hen over 3 trillions of cells na wo ye ho na mbia mu e do so papa until the mechanical cells will be touch man ni you say bibi and koyi mai in piano. In Inti or friends then I'll say a day and also on into say with give people so also monitor with sugar level. My so opinion or bon say or machine or friends then what the man and I say bottom now where you will feel baby will be an one monitor with the 1 monitor. Sometimes I say twice a day minimum. One check upon twice a day also to me the check with sugar level. Until now there's a cost na edit a how to people. Now the same time so often to understand so I will how or the back. Until the first symptoms na everybody there a dozen. And go how or say the name same or diabetes. I didn't know that never any say or friends saying who times say comedy. What also Sukwambado, that is increased. Oh, one of them comedy, one is Diane, a comedy. If you saw one weight, a Yabasabasa, is not a factor to weight loss. If you said the same time, so go also naturally over time to the brain. Kakana was for what you call Johnson, Kakana was for Johnson. This are necessarily be at touch and be. So sometimes we need you barely busy. Now, we need yet to send your first minute with it. Sometimes we want to extreme fatigue. Now, that was what bread will be. Now, when chance your cry. Sometimes we the band say, we cool, not the I am cool, meaning I'm coming in at the but like sauce. That don't feel. Just say, what said, to be told one. A children's banner, Kwane for Uncle Cra. Indeed, standing cool on I didn't know for 1 year luckiness a cost was if you see among Wanana started saying, Indeed, go hard, or friends and open chat and 9. If you want to keep the next week, Yamia Dema, made the sound figures Nina Baba from the statistical data. Made the Baba about that bring minty, men can't once and bring. Indeed, just like this is now a idea a hard game. But also modern control. And we say to control there. No, Yami are able to me at Nasty. Me 18 years and doing a make a last time. No, it will hold for hospital and out more in control. It will also more insulin. Insulin is another area where friends are home. Also we inject it into your body. We inject into your body through friends and needle. They will say needle lady come home. No, well, we into women otherwise what you check to him. Necessarily about only a web buyer or who say we can't introduce normal insulin, the natural insulin here to give you energy. Into say a balance and say no say me then try some control by giving you the insulin. Into what friends saying diabetes na high gain be now, the good thing is that also for Modena with me, who monitor for blood glucose monitoring machine. Until only Yamia Duma Sadako Bakam now a corner of Pasobia, being a no way. You want to monitor with sugar level. Man, casted mini diabetes. Man, casted mini diabetes and anything to meet me. No, they check it. The last time you can't blood pressure. Now also more blood pressure and sana. How do you get it? You get it by saying the Uber check his name more blood pressure and a minute blood pressure. Until planets here, did the same thing now where glucose levels are supposed to monitor the with me up until you can't you will put that a me a black the brain my eludisu sound glucose in my bay normal. Until you can't which me between 3 months to 6 months in all time you see put that in there and you pay to walk around. Because diabetes in you do not or just say, apart from your lifestyle, no, who get to me a control my bay normal, that is it. Nay, I mean, I then I walk. But in now, say, who for you to be, I can't put more say, because I plant based. You say, your farm hospital, or your chemical put that one. But it means plant based now. An animal will say, when we be a full natural one. Because I'm moving through no money and no idea. Offense, fine. Besides that, he would say, Yen a offense, bigger natural in Nankasana. very good because when you see fertilizer in him, and want to be pure 100% organic. Then they put that in it. Until no boy again, no boy again, no one comfort Thomas, but we omega 3. We can compare omega 3 and your tongue plus now which one Hara and Barata, and just need to pay them. Different. Until the Tasson say, and trying to be plant-based product, a natural product, 100% product or organic. Every to my boy and now our boy in doing that. In the Kakama account that now the next week, I'm here demand in bed and what you are so. Until I can afford you put that now. You will be brave, I'm with that if you say I can. You want your woody friends, you say they walk or so be like Tesco, walk up or top. And you want to go and chance him. And Nina chemicals womb. The penalty boy bond do we say, what try it may be. But to make it good 3 months instead of our tobacco pen assign as an then ultra, you should go in man. No, why then wouldn't slide and I want, wouldn't show one man, no one no catch you have been a joke who be brave and it will take you over 3 months. So, depending on the family size, until you put that in your fine, until you go more than the young chemicals I use because chemically not having. Who should draw with my hand as forming a cacao idea on the diabetes with my hand and chemical. The side effect is Sukunipa. Until you have to pass someone say, you bomb the plant-based product. I'm way you recommend them out until I think a lawyer and I'm bringing Macacao.
Okay, thank you very much. And before you go, no, and me say, diabetes is an area, and me say, it causes a lot of controversy because some people are of the view say it can never be reversed, diabetes, and they also say it with passion, say it is not possible. Or Kasano, also who say yes, it can be reversed, depending on your lifestyle and the way you go about everything. And like in everything, Nina, there are so many factors a bit me a play role. Amanabasa. Because I have looked into this. And recently, about 2 weeks ago, Sky News, it was there. Someone was on there. And the person has been able to reverse his diabetes. Through change in lifestyle. So, and you know, I don't know how science there, you know, sometimes it depends on where you stand. And you know, maybe I'm a firm believer. I say the impossibility can always be possible, provided that you work at it, you work hard at it, and you keep pushing. Because one MP, if I'm not mistaken, he was the number 2 to Jeremy Corbyn. I think his name is something called Watson. And he used to have diabetes type 2. And they did interview him. When he went to the hospital, they said that it's not there anymore. And when they asked him, he said that because he's doing a lot of running and he's also very, very careful about what he eats. And now he doesn't have the diabetes anymore, whether it can come back again or not. But when they did the interview, I was very, very impressed. And you could see that he has lost weight. You know, so that has made me believe that the type 2 diabetes, type 2 diabetes, thank you for bringing that to my attention. The type 2 diabetes, it can be reversed. So according to some people, so that made me believe that, you know, maybe if that side is also promoted, it will wake people up for people to realize that it can be reversed, type 2 diabetes. The reason is say Obi Owa, he will simply accept it, say type 2 diabetes is for life and therefore that's it. I will just be on medication. But meanwhile, there is a strong evidence that suggests to say with at least type 2 diabetes there, with a good diet and exercise, you'll be able to reverse it. And you know, I thank you very much for the observation, and also I thank you very much for the education. But someone did say that you need to prick your finger before you can do the test, and to prick it twice a day. Is it realistic? Is it painful? How does it work? the machine that you are going to use it to prick your finger, is it the same machine that you use to prick your finger, or how does it work?
No, there is something we call it lancet. And then that lancet is what you use it to prick your finger. And then when you prick it and then you squeeze a little bit more, you will see that the blood will come. And then is that lancet, the strips, we have something we call it strips. You put that strips into the machine. The small portable machine, you put it into it, and then you put the blood, like just get it closer to where the blood is. As soon as it takes, it's a signal. So in a few seconds, it gives you the details of the test. Just in 2 seconds, it gives you the details of whether it's high or whether it's low. So you will see everything. That is why at least we need to monitor it. Minimum is twice a day. Some people, you need to, after eating, you have to check it. In the afternoon, you can check it. In the evening, you can check it. Or in the morning, you can check it 3 times a day. But at least minimum twice a day is all right. Yeah.
Okay. Tise obi show CCR. Obi oho na dwene ne say ohun so diabetes a ebekuno rather than say onim, because adwendwene anyhow no ontimi sa pressure no. And to such people, no, what advice can you give them?
Yeah, so what happened is say do ha no fan say or adwendwen bibi sa dan so na ne na dan so first now still monitor and as also hospital and check who blood. We check here, doctor number catch maybe a diabetes, another you pre-diabetes, only a healthy neighbor. Then last or Yamia de Maya, the Bonus Labatuka. You were pre-diabetes on my but I feel then ever. International choose, I do not know what you need to do. International go back to hospital to only say, what now book appointment anytime. Oh, me GP, but on person better me bloody, or which me check. The analysis of blood machine which may check it. They will be in a day. Until I practice this, so when you be beside try to find a product because I will recommend it. Man say, no, fine. A best of PBB because product never pack. And tobacco, no win jabacco. Maybe last week is a lawyer. Maybe we said over fencing. And then it goes into Pasameton Minu and next day in a day. It becomes TV and Pasameton no. It work together. No assault problem and amount. No what. Into Bomatia first a county council. Who am they say your health is wealth. And very, very important. And it's your body soon we live in. Into Uber now to me yesterday plant based in a bit to me up what a brema or first and problem there will be asked of two. Next to me and Kai said, like Kundarian, say, and Kai said, symptoms, complications, which may lead to heart disease. What a heart attack, which may at any time diabetes and so complications at the manner, it be a heart attack. At the same time, so which may a stroke, which may a neuropathy, no nephropathy. When you're a retinopathy, you are on in as a no way hearing loss. When you're foot damage, until I doesn't be job, or foot damage in about, and I'm saying my next week. You put data, no statistical data in the UK and even America. Data and conform with you, no name idea, a yard. Nimisi at home at Chiensa, which may prevent the American account. If apart from that, your skin conditions now, they're about with me a bacteria, with me a fungi infection, through when I know no name. So you're trying to prevent me now. Which
okay, and obisoso ebusa for o number and no details. So kabit me edi atudwa amaye ya.
Okay. But just open so we reach Optimal Health Matters. You didn't know Optimal Health Matters. We deal with Amway. Your number is 075 076 30487. Necessity to be 075 076 30487. No, but you shop our website www.amway.co.uk/user is USER /MS EMMESH. Okay, website which me have to be so apart from put that your friends and you may have to come with your BBR with your contact me and I say website.
Okay, Medasi P. MSA, you were yin ya ba so hanamo. Madam Abasaki. So oyenes na opese or add something to what you have just stated today, this afternoon, to educate people. Because man say diabetes no amount for our interest our home pa. Until now, a home say you benya better understanding of this condition. Because I'm so so type 2 diabetes, yes, it can be reversed. Them say type 1 it cannot be reversed. And you know, my hint to say you make it that distinction very clear. Say they are and for and you're confused. And diabetes, a friend say machine, you use ocho bibi na mentiasi yi 10% ko free nanka ochire mu yie pa. Enti no sanka obema obefree sisi a okase wi nanka osusu wafre because me say monitor no it comes with something else and no I don't get the understanding enti sangi hu a anke be boye nyina because me hu say at least 2 people have mentioned say they want a situation where they can also check for themselves even though omo call hospital but they want to check because obesity bia na ensusu come dey no e betumi aba say a bia diabetes say bi so enye diabetes kra. Now, Oshrose Obeko GP, which I don't understand. It's free. You go to the GP and get it checked. You know, Sanamaka Chenipano, but Obeso no test a chance. Then Obeko Awako. And you know, Nina Esoye. And we are educating people, we encouraging people to do these checks. Because you never know. It's better to have an idea than not. Because if you know it, you can do something about it. If you don't know about it, before you know, you are dead. You are gone. And you know, as you take this serious. And Mr. Eshan, let me say, we will take this opportunity, not today. Nanka diabetes machine, no? Yeah, the Bakwama will be. Okay. Now, hopefully,
that's good.
And you know, next week, you know, I will bring it to the show and I will display it so that people will see and see how it looks like. Now, at least, you know, you said to me, Abwa, our listeners in some way, you know, because we are saying, Sike Beto, you say Jawako. Owo obi ewu ade achi nyina no onna Nyankopon de ama wo esoti na emom eso busa ho se ede na wo so be ya odi be prolongo onna na Nyankopon de ama wo. So very very important. And you know you be call off na Madam Abasaki afre na yetimi idea ene na kasaka kra bi about diabetes no me da CP for now. Ti Madam Abasaki me say ososo ubetimi afre sisi a na education kakra so wono watimi idea ede amaye na yetimi ehu baby ayigina when it comes to this diabetes issue. Very important as we educate ourselves properly so that we don't get things twisted. Very important. Hello Madam Saki.
Today
nyame na dom boko na so
nyame na dom yemi.
Yeah, the Nyamiase, say we thank you very much for your contribution as well. Obinima Obichre. Now, say you were making a point which I wasn't getting. Intimida was also no what taking this opportunity to come in and also educate us in this area as well. Now over to you. Do latte.
Medasi. Blood sugar monitor no or a capillary blood glucose monitor the monitor the answer na obibo use no or ye will be a friend meter teach or they train you how to use it what to look out for and depending on nipa chrono yarban baby away Yabakan how often or check the blood sugars. Inti say yentumi ya madam education and sana nsa so monitor numa. Orunhu moriye. Ewa. In if you so how often or check the blood sugars. If you check you find every twice a day. But it be after every meal, an hour after every meal, and now 2 hours after every meal. Maybe or check and put two or sorry first thing or check and son with TV so I check into. We need to educate people before they start using the blood glucose monitors. And you know, that was what I was trying to make a point. I'm trying to point out that yes, we can give them to people to use, but they do need the education before they do that, so that they don't do the wrong thing, basically. And also, if there are people that really are having symptoms, which Mr. Amwe mentioned, now we feel there or there, what bomazina, what GP ho. Now saying GP no point here, they both face to face. Sometimes these days it's mostly online, another on the phone. Until you explain what symptoms are, we probably would do some blood tests to confirm whether that is the issue. And there might be a serious thing going on. Into Masra it's for the where you're concerned about what you people record on your normal one life, more now. One bisa one GP, one GP in Casa. Ne one explain in GP so that we can come to a better diagnosis and then get treated as such. See, that was what I wanted to say.
Okay, thank you very, very, very much. We hope that next week you can also join us. And now I think that the what you've mentioned, the education first before even the machine comes into place, which I totally agree, because you can have the it's like buying a computer and not knowing how to switch it on. It will not make any sense. You know, you have the computer, you don't know how to switch it on. Then what is the use of the computer?
You wouldn't use it. You wouldn't have the benefits of it.
That's right.
The full benefits of the monitor wouldn't be a benefit to the person who's got it. So,
yes, it will not serve the purpose. So by all means, so next week we will meet again, and I hope if you're available, then I don't know whether I should throw this challenge to you live on air, whether you can educate us a bit in relation to the monitor bit before Mr. Amway come.
Okay, we've got several monitors on the market.
Right.
It will depend on the kind of monitor that Mr. Amway has got for viewers.
Yeah.
I could try and give a general education, but really I would implore the listeners to see their GP and also see a diabetes specialist, nurse specialist, or midwife specialist who could be more of help. But I could give a general idea as to how it works. That
would be fantastic. That would be fantastic. So thank you very much for your input, and I believe that our listeners appreciate it, because it's an area that people are bothering me with, and I haven't got a clue. So we have to still find a way to educate our community, you see. So it's good that everyone is calling in, and I do appreciate your effort, and also for making the time. What you have contributed would have saved someone's lives. So definitely we do appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Thank you for calling. Thank you.
Not a problem. Bye for now.
Bye.
All right. Okay. Now let's go to the questions and answers. If you have tuned in, that's a question about immigration and nationality law. Usubetimi afre na webusa. And there you can be about deportation of foreign criminals and a home office policy, concession policy in relation to making an application for leave to remain if you are unable to return back to your home country on the basis of COVID-19. And yasaka bibi about say ubetimi ejina wabano maso, and I say our girlfriend the bar, and I say obia odina form of family and private life biano odina form wa ubetimi ejina almost so edi aje on krata enti by all me say the munyina masi also mo joining in na the masi say any mo share in the program. Now I've got a question here from Mr. Salas Idi. The question reads, my fiancé marriage visitor visa was refused. Reason, her income not properly explained. I had sponsored the trip and provided all the relevant supporting documentation. These were verified and upheld. Can I challenge the decision or should I reapply? It's a very good question. Yes, if they give you the right of appeal, you can appeal to the immigration court within 28 days if your fiancé is outside the UK or if the applicant is outside the UK. That is your right. However, in terms of speed, now everything is so slow at the court, it's unbelievable. You put in the appeal, it will take you about 6 months before you get an acknowledgement, roughly speaking. And by the time you get a hearing, 1 year is already gone. And the question that I'm asking myself is, are you prepared to wait for 1 year to go through the costs involved and the stress involved in order to get a remedy to your case? Or perhaps you don't have the time to waste and therefore you want to put in a fresh application straight away. This is a question that I think you need to be able to answer direct. However, should you choose to appeal, because sometimes it's annoying that you give the evidence, you give the documents, everything, and they still come back and say that you didn't do this, you didn't do that, this was not explained, blah, 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 blah. Because sometimes the document can explain itself. By looking at the document, straight away, you'll be able to tell what is what. But unfortunate for you, in this particular case, that was not the case. And therefore, what I will say to you is this. What I will say to you is that you need to look at the merit of your case and then look at the decision that they have made. They are claiming that you did not explain your source of income properly. I would have expected some entries in the sponsor's bank account. And if the money was paid by a third party or you are working and the money was paid by your employer, the evidence will be clear that the company A or company B has paid this money into your account. And therefore for me, and you have your pay slips attached to it, that is enough evidence to show where the source of money comes from. But without seeing the evidence, it's very, very difficult for me to comment. However, if it's a matter of maybe you are working, but the money that you get paid is by way of cash, then you need to explain that when you work and you are paid by cash and you deposit the money into your account at the end of every month or beginning of every month. By doing that, you would have explained yourself about the source of the money. So it will all depend really. The evidence will be able to tell me exactly how I should advise you. So this is just a general kind of advice that I can give, because without having sight of the evidence, it makes it impossible for me to be able to give you a direct answer. So at the moment, I can only give you a general sort of answer, hopefully, which I think it will give you an idea and it will help you. Also, someone also texted. Let's see if I can find it. Someone also sent a text. I can't find it. As we know, comments come in, and as comments come in, it keeps going up, and sometimes it's very difficult to go back and find it. Now, all the same, I will activate the telephone lines, and if you want to call in and ask any question that you want in terms of immigration and nationality law, I'll be happy to help you. I'm hoping to finish the program at exactly 1:30. So by all means, the lines are now officially activated. All those who are joining us, Dominic Chere, good morning to you. I think you also asked a question. I'll see the changes, the EEA nationals. Let me just read it and see if I can get what he's saying, and then I can then respond for him. Alternatively, you can call this number so that we can have a very good chat. The number is 07538 969 You can call that number and we'll be able to also answer you and maybe understand the question better. At the same time, I'll do the best that I can and go through the comment section and see if I'll be able to make sense out of everything that's going on there. A lot of comments is on there, about 80 comments, and therefore it makes it sometimes very difficult to go through those comments. If you want to call in for a question, for anything, contribution, by all means you can call in. The number is 07538 969 589. You can call in right now. Sometimes, many times, people say that, well, I couldn't get through the line. I don't buy that anymore. No, I don't buy that anymore because people say it all the time. But you know, as we are waiting, we have about 25 minutes. So when people say they don't get in, that one, I don't buy that anymore. Okay, we got our first caller. Let's take the phone call and let's move on. Hello, good afternoon to you.
Hello, good afternoon. Pacho, Mami Boatman, Kasa Free Dawson.
Mami Boatman from Dawson. Good afternoon to you. Now, Obia Hoyedi.
Nyamia Dawo Manamonso.
Nyabi Adam, Nyamia Obo, we are say Ebo, Asro, any Asase, Adumunti, Yawa, and Kwemu.
Yes, now, lawyer, another wire, dear, one more chicken home full sale, Moya Ponia, Ukitan Krata, or ya is 70 to me for Uncono. And now the other 2 hours Yen and I am from 3 Kutubi. Now, Mr. Sean, Mamma, because I Antia Banam Pachomwa.
Yes, that's correct.
Why, ya dear pa, Menea, monitor, when education, and it's a blood pressure machine in won't you mean you so? Because we may not diabetes 27 years. Now, monitor, no, yes, so 15 years. What's on our use as it's all wrong, sir. They say, I buying all the abandon, it's all wrong, some first. Now, paper. And so what click blood now, the guardian, so they read it properly. Amount, say, fear, won't you mean you so much, you know? Right. And yes, be a time I had the amount. It's a blood pressure machine, who's our measure. No one chilling a year, no one finds out there is error. Yeah. Now, Basson, to me reading, Tinoma, Minister Walker. Who hear education as when you say monitor. And yes, without education, you cannot do it. Yeah. Because the all church, you test it in the morning. After 1 hour or 1 hour, no one test people. The same as evening time. You do apply money and 3 times a day. It depends how your blood sugar go. If you go to 10, that's just say it's too high. And to many mamma, I drink power. Who fitting out the more be no only use. Yeah. Now, I waste caca because we do ha unyapa. Yeah. Now, Mr. Sean, a drone maker wants some cacra. Recently, Messisia Bontin cacra. Yaluan Chinajas and started knowing Mississippi. Obia so why fair. What look young, why you say? I made Obia card, and a card in Nikitame. Was send a card, I blend Tiana, made the amount of energy. Maybe I won't some of my friend who contacted no Becatro. Papa, let drone lawyer to be frank. I had no more play. I had diabetes when you my blood pressure when you that's why I said me treat you and I make a toy. I had no more play or read him just I saw my own put on weight just a no drone at Pianakurano. Ubedia Cacabina mouth or through I am. But I say someone nanti. One nanti dia enyejuma. So tnafa akwaze mididia me no drone dia enyejuma. And it's a 1 hour 2 hours square you road no so quiet. No akwa nanti abetiri. That's all. And tin papa na drone eye no ma bebre. Na papa na me pese me ka a drone nsem bebre ama papa ni tiri aye ne de. Because me I mean no na me hu. To wa obetobin. There is a product I'm forwarded to call round. Yes, similar like that. But Papa is different from that. And here for more top product at Munchen year. Namunko Amway company is very good. And once a gun afford be the product and Namne, but it doesn't work like that. Wait a minimum, no must steady me body. And that lawyer, let me to me, you know, pass straight to, and let me to me, you know, straight to. Because now I know. A Juma bones and my cause my fabric rona who said this is pure organic. I say, Juma or say a pool near the day, which me move around near the day. To mess them say, Moon Toby. Now, maybe I mean, lawyer dark on the chair, me, and into one ray, and I'm a one but if you make if it has to be lawyer.
Yes, that was a pa. Okay. Na obi so air free. Na just say phone the eba call that did jumanti now. You should bear with us. Me free the panel back. Na ono so the one or the atuja. Enti now about 1:30 pepe ye di jumadi ne eba na wie. Enti ofre after 1:30 a enya dia ubinya ye. Enti ebesre mo. Hello. Hello? Hello? Okay, anypa no ntimi nkasa obetimi asa afre biem so opeso ba live show ne so a me say yenu aba so asend message aba enti yen read the message no na obi fra na be fa nipa no but me enya my dey amfa message no. I'm Dominic Chere, and how will the changes affect EEA nationals? Or say what is a Brexit? UK government bring some changes be, and how would it affect EEA nationals? Changes are UK government this week. Or say, oh, okay, depending by okay. I mean, some free depending back. I'm so afraid me who know. And you know, I didn't also add a mute into a frame who yes, I'm free to be. Now, after you read the questions about it, now young quiet name. Hello. Okay. Let me say, Mekatino. Now, you quiet name. Maybe at this time they be Juma. Hello, good afternoon. Okay, let me me forget it. Now you move on. Okay. You Dominic Chere also Eddie Abba said, what is it this week? Changes be UK government so the changes be back law in terms of the Brexit, you know. How is it going to affect European nationals? Changes now proposing is about trade deal. On beso mosa go back. Eco change some of the policies and also some of the dealer and some the European Union have after yaja to me say you be this deal this or no after yes I see mpe enti aye bibi kakra bi a ewo hodomo na madwene mu de e kire me say Britain aka say omo the changes bi esa bema ebebu international law so America Nancy Pelosi, the Speaker of the House. What kind of plain say Britain and the European withdrawal agreement in this one? Omni Britain any deal be and you know. Okay, be by infano. Hello.
Hello, Jadako.
Hey, good. Ojadem. Now, touch on one I say, you don't be any more.
Mammy Chineboa, I say.
Mammy Chineboa, aka Atia Donko, Babelande, sir.
I knew never grow old.
That's right, it's had it here. Mamma, and area.
Mamma, money a Jumami chatty for you.
A Jumaya, that was so.
Aye, if Papa say, Papa, am we. Say, woman, a dwan come out by muscle, and near church so. Now, a year Jumadin, my hotoye. Make me aka say some kasi die suya COVID-19 COVID-19 I do a young buy the draw original and no idea no and no idea no go ni ye ni no ni ade cry ni nti esram aya amodin asem ayu ho asem ene e kan na me gina fidie so ada obi bia we trechewo ya pomne ya niema aka ase na madam ase se apreno amidi ye no akrade na midi ne bra na me hia papa ya enwonwo misuye bite medi ba akopen ena medi akofi ena akohia se menko na metimi da mu ntimi hia bi ama bibinia metimi ade aye na obi ba me wa me na mai so nyame adomo mo ye adwuma aya sabia na bra hia me sade eche o koto bi mre me no sada na me di akrade aye me wonwa enti nyame hiramu no ontum monkom na o ma mu botu madwuma mo ye na urade mai monta mu na munye bi na monfanya dumaden mmaboa afoforo so onyame hiramu pa medamase
yes yeah dawase pa eja yese o ma me wo ba wiase na se wanye bibi mpo amfa ananase a biwa no ka so oda nase because we are risking a life and no dey awo amwa ba wiase
na mana pomuden na mana nije dia drui dia Yehia ne anije.
Sana etie.
De tia ne nkutahudi ne anije asa.
Sana etie. Sede penifomo kan ye no. O ma me ehwew na se o ma sin fifia na so hwe no ama ne sin tutu.
Eda mase papa.
Yes, yeah, that's it. Ma me twene bo na mote ne nka no. O se ne blood pressure machine na o we ne the last week no. Ne nsaka. Na ewiase de nwanwa pa ne se o se na eyade a no pese okotobi. Na emom ade o pese okoto no. Ene se ofre by chance a Nyankopon so eye na dom otimi ewe ne blood pressure machine no. Na ne nsa so aka enti ofre ada obi biara se. Obi biara oba ha ebe kire bibim. Anase obi biara mpa otie program no ema ne koso everyday biara no. Odamu nyina mo ase. Na me de betia kan na se o ma me ba wi ase. Na so hwe ma se efifia na wo so wa hwe no ama ne sia tutu. Eno na eye enhira. Eti ma me o se eda wase pa. Adwuma ye di nyina no wudi achi ana ehye wachi na do nsa ebobo ye to nkakra ana wo gege ye ana ene ye da so eti hei. O se eda wase pi. Obi so aba yemfa no. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon, lawyer.
Good afternoon to you. Na pacho wana ka say.
Frame Akosia Santoa.
Akosia Santoa na ka say free he.
Me ka say free Camberwell.
Akosia Santoa from Camberwell. Akosia fire enko.
The American say lawyer nyame hira pa im say Saturday bia yetiyo na eye futu bebre na yenye free ho de kan say radin hira no time na bibia wo yema Ghana community ne. Oma omoka ho nyina. The American about sugar glucose monitor no. And say many nurse ni ya adwe me nye nurse anyway. But kakra ni dia kakra me wo fa ho na maker.
Yes.
And say true say before so be use monitor na also nya a bit of education about it.
That's right.
And na the one be also ni say unya bi kura na wo use a according to Nimdefo and as what knowledge about diabetes. It depends obi asana situation it here. And this who you soon pone bia sometimes bia na wedi aduane bi na carb be brede wom ti bia odidi we feel you know akọ check it a one way I be making wrong assumption. I can say oh we dem see me nya diabetes so because me me level no was soro pa bi so anante sa na aduane wedi na that time no enti na ama na course sa enti ya na advisable say good so obenya monitor ni bia check it but always you know so who bibi na wonya yi a contact your GP na no so check here check ni say try say the wo check it 1 day and 2 days na ya osan check here hu no bi a 3 months interval no ma calculate all the time bia within 3 months ni mu the wo wadi die mu ne sena level ne tie within 3 months eno na di gina so kese when ya diabetes and also wunya bi entinye se bia wo check in 1 day 2 days na hu ye na bia wa start SF medication eno na wrong enti sena wo be check ya wo be hu ne bia no the advice wo hu ne say ma wo GP check it actual thing no to na betimi ya determine say wo diabetes wo bi and now we are pre-diabetic and now we say enti eno na be boa ma unko self medication and say bibia eno so be put you at risk enti na my advice akra me dey man say ade nyina mu no yen contact a GP na yen how to go about things because yes yen kasa with yen kasa ideas and ye be mistake
fantastic
sana na be person me frena me trim with knowledge kakra me what about diabetes.
Fantastic. Yes, yeah, that was CP for your contribution. It's a wonderful contribution because knowledge is powerful. And once you acquire the knowledge now, when you're testing in power, you can apply the knowledge. Say they are unko panicky because unko maybe unko sugar food be na say be sure. You start panicking, say, hey my God, what is happening to me? Now,
especially young Africans, you need any baby, you know. Carb no too much. It is a wood dear, why say I'll be checking on that what panic pa. And so maybe now Ukrano, maybe I will pre-diabetic. Now we know time also fair through. Maybe I know if you diabetic, but at the some moment now would be now checking results never man. And accurate.
Yes.
Unless a GP I check it now one
yes.
Sanity.
Thank you very much. Have a nice weekend. And may the Lord Almighty God bless you for enlightening us. and for your wonderful contribution.
Okay, lawyer. Thank you so much.
Obi nima obi chere entu so wadwini bia na so de aba ye nyina yesa ye ho yare ye da masepa wonderful contributions today. And I do appreciate that. I'm learning as we go along, and I believe say also so no you are learning as we go along. And you know yensia yemfa yenu question yi o pass betimi afre yenu an say wuti pass frɛ na yenya message ne fast. Because every time I make us a new ready bia no na before fraba. And you know mention say betimi answer man fast na ye koye nim. Obisa said European Union ye free mo no this week ya Britain so mu change some of the withdrawal agreement, you know, they be affect European Union nationals and the guarantee the UK government has already given guarantee to European nationals and their family members living here. As a provider, they say, Oma apply for either residence card or permanent residency card, their right will be guaranteed. However, UK government is now saying they should also move on and apply for settlement or pre-settlement scheme. And it will be a European national. Now say yamano residency card and now say yamano permanent residency card between now and 31st of December on apply for settlement scheme now on timin cover ho say obi yamano permanent residency card and also residency card ni bimpoa from 31st of December no ye free European Union nimu and UK government advice they say apply for settlement scheme card ni bi. Said yeah, after we have come out, no, say upie, na say oh babaka, you will not have too much headache at the airport. And you know, a humbe here say obey apply for settlement scheme card in it by 31st of December. And you know, above de rule ewo efidie mua for the past 2 weeks. And you know, no, when to me NTA for the past 2 weeks, and tina ebia manibusa sa question no. Obi so about Georgina AJ. Well, Jay, the city is spelling A1. Okay. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Madam, hello. Mpacho, one I can say who are live on Facebook. Hello.
What's it on Facebook?
Who are live on Facebook? Ain't you know so say a private habit me frame actually. Why? So we say ubusa me questions so dia ubetimi abusa. But your Facebook a live show. And you know say private habit me frame actually. Okay. Why? You show that me from. Why that's it. Okay. And when there mama let na hwana and some about one thing. And you know that is how it is. And you know you about so as a lawyer I brought my case to the UK. And the man, my husband, we are no longer together. Also over 5 years. And Krano, you're almost 6 months. And it ended recently. Was it a dear na onye? A questioner, Mame Georgina AJ. Let me say, we just say, ye di enkomo through the back door. Because, SM Busa questions kakra about this. Na ye bie ni mem kakra na mehu se de mesi aboa. But as it is ne de at the moment no e bia questions am busa no enye nice se be kwa bontensa because of confidentiality. Intimacy opi sankebe ya ka Monday about 10 o'clock obetimi afre abesi ya office line so number no ye 07538 969589 landline no eye 0207 993 5976 Mesro P Frey Nebra bi hu ye na yentenase na ye hu kwan a ye de befa so betimi aboa wo ma no na wa ankasa so no in the long term no ye hu kwan ye befa so aboa because we a case a enye straightforward e wo se nyanto ase ne ye tie mu ye ene enema so hyehye ensempo na yakọ forward Mesro P mentena ho ema enkrane visa no enwu ansa ensa na wo seek advice is here. Justice and Law Solicitors. My name is Lawyer Darko. Your number and I say your office hours. Your office number. Mesade to monitor so 07538 969 589. And I say over free ABC may so 0207 993 5976. ubetimi afre abesi sa amane so na yetimi ayede yetimi aboa because information and I say enkomesi edi no enye fese be di ne bedwam sa aha sana etie enti na meshopi ma wanimre wo ho ne tu sa na mo no justice and law obalance betimi aboa wa we will be honest with you job so ye no emwa wo so a we will be honest with you. Our honesty there is second to none, and our professionalism is second to none. Our resource, any achievement is second to none. We are one of the best in the field. Anyone will tell you. And you know, men minister also with your consultation. Said you bantama bow for the kind, or so BC cash will be bottom. So one spend there, me nyebi, Miss Man spend you be nyebi. Not just a yena no, yes, spending that will be a nyebi. Not it be aso will be aso. Sana etie. And the second question will be so by Eugenia Ata Ejay. Lawyer, please, my cousin made a settlement scheme application and she sent her BRP card for verification. And it's been over 7 months now and she hasn't received the card back. She has only received certificate of application. Can they keep the card for that long? It's possible. Ebia case worker, no? Ebia, Nirethi. Until you can always write back and chase it up until you can do that and yet big deal. Until that is one of the options that you have. So application BBR check at the home office. As you know, no, and Emma home office because of COVID-19. It be more any juma from March up to now. Afina it be more call back. Nancy it be so call back. Until Meka say write a chase up letter to the BRP team and advise them that your card is still pending. It's been there for some time now, and therefore you need a card for whatever you need it for. Explain it and tell them that you haven't returned it. One thing that I will also say, meaning how you sent it. If you use a lawyer to do it, get in touch with the lawyer. You have paid the lawyer for the lawyer to do his job. If you send it yourself, normally say send yakwa and who be here say ube fa prepaid envelope. Now what's sending by special delivery. Now prepaid envelope no so no why any special delivery. Said ya de babaka enkoyera. Enti eno so yen hye so pa na yenye de ye mo ye homodin na yintimi emfa enye de yemfa nye the things the right way because sometimes so what they call na so one fa prepaid special delivery envelope and come one they will send it by ordinary post so say things tend to get lost in the post. Enti mesro p yes ade ne next time obi a wutie bia so ne bi komo obi na sa ade ne sombo a ye prepaid envelope of special delivery said ya ebitimi aba e wa asumdwem na wo so no ohu ato na wasumancho enti yenya ne sa ye benya yasumdwe de ato so biem I pese kan ho asem Dominic Chere ma me answer wo question yi em setem bia na me ba be answer no na ade fofra ba be twem enti me ntwa nam take this opportunity na me answer ma. Yes, UK government pese mu change yes some deals we no mu change some name kakra ewu and no unfortunately be breaking international law and everyone is speaking against it. So I don't think they will do it, but they are just making noise about it. So if they break international law, there will be sanctions. But in terms of the right of the European nationals and their family members, that one is secured. Mr. Idris, I was answering his question, something came up and I skipped it. So let me go back and answer his question for him because he's waiting for an answer. Okay. They're not also able to, what he was asking was a fiancé visa. Oh, I think I've answered it. Whether he should appeal or he should do reapplication. So this would all depend. If you have the money, you can always do reapplication and make sure that this time you offer an explanation as to the source of the funds. I think that was the only problem with your application because that's the only thing that you have mentioned. So by all means, you can do that and get that settled that way. Alternative is to appeal against the decision if you really believe that the decision is wrong and it's not in accordance with the law and you've been given the right of appeal. The side, the only bad side to be appealing is that the case can drag on for about 1 year before you get your day in court, and after that, a decision will have to be made, and the Secretary of State will have up to 3 months to implement the decision after you have won your case in the court. So sometimes when it comes to whether to appeal or not to appeal, it will depend on the merit of the case and the individual, how quick you want it. So in this case, if you want it to be done quick, then by all means, I think it's important that maybe you do reapplication, because with the reapplication, within 3 months, Home Office will make a decision and the person would get the visa to come in and join you in the UK. So sometimes it's not about money, it's about getting things done quick. As for me, I'm looking at it this way. Maybe this will help you. Say she's your fiancée and you apply for fiancé visa. We are going to do economics, a bit of economics here. Sometimes people make certain decisions, and if you don't think it through, you might think that the person is wasting money. The person don't know the value of money. But this is my take on this. And I believe that by the time I finish giving you my take, you will understand what I'm saying. And I believe that you're probably going to do what I'm going to suggest. Put it this way. You have a fiancé. You have applied for fiancé visa. The only reason for refusal is that you did not explain your source of money. You know your source of money. You know that it's legitimate, and you know that you can explain it. And therefore, if you explain that and you go back, the chances of succeeding is higher. The application can take only up to 3 months. And within 3 months, your fiancé can actually be in the UK. If your fiancé comes to the UK, say 3 months later, your fiancé can get a job within 2 months. And then your fiancé can work from the 2 months up to a year. Up to a year. So let's say your fiancé applied for the visa today. We are in September. By December, your fiancé could be given the visa. Your fiancé will come to the UK in December. By February, your fiancé could start work. And then your fiancé can start working from there. If you lodge appeal now, it will take about a year to get a hearing date. So this will take you back to next year, September. So between the time of February and the time of September, your wife could have worked for March, April, May, June, July, August, September. Imagine that your wife is in this country working and earning £1,000 a month. From February to September, your wife would have worked for 7 months. And your wife could have earned £7,000. That money is more than the application fee that she would have paid. Not only that, you will also get other benefits from it. The cold weather is coming. I don't want to go too much into it because it's a daytime program. Your wife could come in and cook for you. So there are so many indirect benefits that you could also get from your wife's presence in this country. So it's not about money. If I was you, I will pay to do another application to get a year, because this is economics. The benefit of paying for it is more than the hassle of going through the courts. And for that reason, I will suggest to you, if the money is from legitimate source, you can explain it. Then the documents, you need to upgrade the documents. And then you need to explain. Just take your time. You have to do every presentation. If you have issues with that, come and see Justice and Law Solicitors. And as the name suggests, we will do you justice. And you will get your fiancé in within no time. We have a lot of people in your situation. And it's not only Ghanaians that come to us. We have all sorts of nationalities from different areas of the globe. That is the reason why I struggle to do my program in Ukvi alone, because of the global nature of our business. And we attract people from different communities within the UK. And all the time, you have people from different places. And now they are also following us and they are listening to what we are doing. And therefore, for me, it's incumbent upon us to be able to do the program in English so that people can also benefit from it. And I believe, most of Ghanaians also speak English, and I believe that they do understand it as well. But some people will be more prefer it to maybe to speak Chi, and we will do the best that we can and mix it as we go along. Because you should use that as a motivating factor to improve your English and learn more. Because if we are saying anymore, so we all learn from each other. And the more you learn, the more you are able to also help others. And so nyansa de eni ba ko fotirim adwene eni ba ko fotirim enti nyina ye mo ye ho na ye ntimi ensua in so many different ways. Okay, me say obi so aba ye hwa de bi wa or send a question. O person obetimi afre telephone line no. O de so bi mpo na wubusa ama na busa manipa no. So ho na ebia obi kan ye obi safwa esutimi bi obi de enti na ebia question e busa no obi o sa problem no na ono so no aboa no. Enti we enye ferry asem don men ferry enti meka say jiro ho ne bomodin na also ye de mfre number di djuma no mame enfanto screen so eye 07538 969 589 also ubetimi idea afre ababesi sa number yi so o question bia also ubetimi afre say we dey ato asoso a Mr. Mupi mun share program no say o asori group ma fakoto asori group na bi am kasa asem we say o de koto asori group ma ebia obi ohompo a o problem bia you don't know, but by putting it in that group no obohu say ebie ekwan bi idea ama obi entina entina very important ese ye be die ye be share knowledge no ye be share information na ye nuanum bi eso so etimi enya emfaso idea e free so very very important entina the mechanism ye wo tab nimpo aso abro so ye de dwumadie no beba na wie say opese ofra ene because of adwena ye nuanum bi e de ba enti me say raffle for diabetes machine no I will pause because you say sunie e ma adwene enti ye de be kwa adwene mu all the same no and ye nya raffle no the recipe na amanfo ani abrepo mo pebia we ni na Mr. Owusu o Ghana o de no eda so da hado minim say what you need in a meeting na I'm trying to figure a way the best way metimi edis hadi way abrel. One of the ways they say I was me send it by post. The other way they say me pay will be or bar na me de amano na or the abrel. Enti Mr. Wusu or Ghana or no any blood pressure machine. Okay, you baby so afraid you are live on Facebook. Hello.
Oh my God.
Aye, we gane kalo to the mefre actually. Why? And yes, our da page na beko e wiasa fa na nyina. Why? There be bien.
Oh, sorry.
Mefre actually. Why? Bye. Okay, entina sana echo. Entina dwumadie no me say ye betwa so na next week we start a blood pressure machine bi aba na said the union nyina sika ye no eba unya na so asua se de si use no o de wonim po na se obusa eba it comes with instructions na ene ye yabia say diabetes machine no anka ye de bi beba na anka ye de ama but ye dwene ho no ene se bi adwena ye nuanum bi be kire ye no me fi say it makes sense enti ese e pause na ye de kwa adwendwene mu na ye hwe the best way because it me educate ya ebeboa anam nim say you know bi so diabetes doctors are recognizing omo dada eso mo check omo blood pressure glucose omo so no omo nya ebeboa wo enti na ebia those people no ana ebia e was say ye raffle no for them na ye giving it out to those people ebi obi a ya diagnose no ohia bi pa so enti na sana akwaye enti na yabadwene ho na next week aba blood pressure machine no Mr. Amway omso the 2 eba eno no yede bema etiefo na sebio am kasa asem we mimum de mitobi aboa me na minim se de use no but through education se de me use no kra na me hu use yes sister aba frey o say no lawyer there be say technical say yeni say o ma me directions me ye no aboa me na I became so tell me I may check it you know but James said every at least once a week I have taken that advice. It is say me once a week boa me enya dia eye ade bia sebio eye bia ebe boa me too much bia ba ema me idea ese where I'm going so until me check if blood pressure na too much me bu say mo say e dey na dey pressure bre me hey ene na mateso na saa ye nyina yesua na ye monitor ye ho na ye hunro sana etie sana ema ye nyini che enti no sana ye nyina no e wo se ye de e wo se ye obi send message I say Good afternoon, Lawyer Darko. If you replace your BRC to BRP and the UUSS, can you use it to travel or do many things as we used to do with the old residency card? Very good question. 2, please also, if you apply for child tax credit under the universal credit, does it affect your work savings? Does it affect your work in savings? Okay, let me try and answer the first one, and the second one, let's think through and see if we can work it out what it is. Okay, the chair said, BRP, any BRC card, you know, BRC card, a biometric residency card, which they will issue it under European law. The UK government now atoaba say, and I say UK for atoaba say free European Union. And that means he says a free man European law no and apply it with UK BM. Say and apply with UK BM. The question no and say and apply with UK BM. Any card in society the amount under European law no. Say law nankasa and apply with UK. Any by default card in so and apply BM with UK. And nothing the UK government is say. In order to avoid any problems, you know, for European nationals and their family members, you know, they should convert their BRC card, which has been issued under European law, to European Union Settlement Scheme visa or card under the withdrawal agreement under UK law. And therefore, no, for me, for your peace of mind, and to avoid any problems, I will advise you, I will suggest to you, say, bre ama and kamani ama. Young person when rush generation problems, na ebibesa baby muninti no. A advisable so obey apply for EU settlement scheme, no. Not what just a card in be. The question in Busane say, would it make any difference for our travels? Yes, it will make difference to your travels. Difference are a bit making, you know, and the same. Because of say free European Union, you know, you can still use your biometric residency card, which was issued under European law, to go to European countries without the need to obtain a visa. Sana emranity CC. Nemum, yenye free European Union, you will not be able to go without a visa. Into what the UK government is saying, say, EU settlement scheme visa. So what year and also it comes with counter cross. So Okoji this year before see be free man. Ombecha European Union visa card in him, which is the BRC card. No, se CIA yen free mono. Se Oko convert your European biometric residency card to there. Omo echa European biometric card in. That would then mean he say ukita UUSS card na. Before say obeko Europe no, ese will apply for visa. And it's advisable say you apply for Schengen visa. Lawyer Darko, obesa wo ya brabe hu justice and law solicitors. Yeso ye betimi aye aboa. And you know, very very important. Ese also obey ube take his initiatives now. Media, I would advise anyone, any Ghanaian listening to me. I say, Brebria Mama Neama, and any by 31st of December, try and apply for the European Union Settlement Scheme visa. Adentia, say who bimpo and the letter brewa, try and apply for the card. Try and apply for the card. Adentia so apply for the card. Or apply for card in a no de ya chroso. I say you have your visa valid for 10 years. Uni will be any answer. Because UK government, MIA where say ukita card ni bimpo under the old scheme now, which is the European Union biometric residency card now. Ukitebi now so apply for settlement scheme. Now say card ni enguya, they will not give you a new card until say ewu. And to be card no. Now ebia ya chroso say your card will expire in 2022. Bisuswa who apply for scheme now. You say you have the leave to remain until 2030. but Oscar card na 2030 ne so but physical eye no HS 2022 employer bi wa want ase ube chirima yede onti waseda enti brebre ama amane ama the adakom media advance media mo bia ne say ko apply for USS card ni bi said there ya say bi obi ahwe so a obehu said there you are legitimate in UK, your visa is for 10 years, you are also indefinite uno bi any asem. And yes, I feel na be do be na feel na be chiri manchire obi. From 1st of January, obi a free outside every UK piano. It's likely say at the airport they're gonna have problems because okita old card na a biometric residency card na ubedru airport eba be in same P. Even though say why electronic one nibia, you'll be able to use that to gain entry. But entry clearance officers be brace on tiasemase. I feel be hunya stop for about 2 hours. Now a beer air show. And a dear Yanni say stop pet. Na man for shall say a gonna say a beer in Ruboni war. Now a cofa in same PE. And a dear Abril. Until a darkum with them say brebre ma amania ma ye pa ye be hunti ana ye chire boa na abrewade sebio usumuna baby obeto de efa ho ben na abrewa we oni hwe kra no o abatwe enti ompa sema na work in touch with justice and law solicitors na ye bia ma na edi asumdua abrew why enti sana ye no yenua o say I mean under EEA law no see no see law Nana Bob meaning question kra busai okay. Oh, I see. I don't think it's a requirement under EEA law, but under immigration rules. Yes. Okay, let me say I have to understand your question. I will say no first, and say na let me idea answer amount. The meeting I can make sure the meeting I can say under settlement scheme, it is issued under immigration law. And the UK government will give you assurance and guarantee. As your right is protected under UK immigration law. But at the moment, say we EEC and as a family member, na so kita EEC residency card and as a permanent residency card. It has been issued under European law. So your right is only guaranteed under European law. And it is about be free no yenye free mu na say European law is no longer applicable in the UK. I don't see how law any applicable in the UK, how it can guarantee your rights in the UK. And untina ye ka say advisable say obey den. Obebo homodin na wetimi idea. I upgrade to European Union settlement scheme visa, which has been incorporated into domestic law, and therefore it is issued under British law. And it's strange to say if any European Union settlement scheme visa into Nosana etie. The name suggests European Union law, and as it suggests you add a link to European Union. The reason they say they have incorporated the European law into domestic law, and until still no, it carries the title European Union Settlement Scheme Visa. And to the meeting, I can't hold on. And to Yemianom etie for Yadamase ese ene moso metie de yede bremo ene awie ene anope ene enumre. Eye maso de ese obi ode to ha bia no. Omomodin na onhye program no. Ema program no enu akire na enkrofo so entimi ntie advice yi na omuntu anamon na omsoso emfa embo omobra because yesi bakofo akohu adanseni wo hefa say also spread here you are also curing someone me yema famu de usubusa ho say also so ede na oye mami fo nyinara anwumwe ye bomamo brebre anowa mami so atwi kasa anwumi eye wodia ye di dwumadie no eba na wieye next week ye be sai ehia bi nyame enhiro mu nyina mo ba ba with the career area, ya bro, say 2 questions. And my answer the last one. I say, please also, if you apply for child tax credit under European Union law or under universal credit, I think say trying to say under European Union law, does it affect work, savings, and document? Okay, from it's not very clear here, but let me try and rethink it. I think said union do so busane say oji child tax credit na say o European visa, would it affect subsequent applications? And I say so biji tax creditor so your application and the European law, would it affect it? I think said that is what our brother is trying to say or our sister is trying to say. I'm not sure. But sada magin muyeme. Let me try and answer that quickly before we bring the program to an end. Say obiji Europe the question is say obiji tax credit and answer obiji benefiter. And no enchre say you ontimi enye de ontimi en sponsor the family member. Now the European law no can say the family member must not become an unreasonable burden to the host country. And therefore ne be depend any so yeah you must woje. Say also obey about be unreasonable burden or not. Ni na estimate calculate na yehwe scan ni panage no. So yeah juma how much he gets. So normally Home Office will use the benefit law to do the calculations. How does it work? They will use something called adequate maintenance test to do the calculation. And it's a obiji benefit, for example. Nasa otikruma na utia income support. Income support benefits. So bijia abani tuane dan come straight away. Ni asama niskase onfenidi. Question bebusa ne say ojira na se wukuna or sponsor ono. Se otuane rent free ne benefit ni income nyina ma. Diaka no is it equivalent to a couple of similar size family receiving state benefit? Is it equivalent or more? If it's equivalent or more, no problem. But if it's less than such a family, then because you become unreasonable burden. It's a bit of a difficult stuff to calculate, but say obuku appointments now be justice and law solicitor. You bet me idea, I calculations now money abow. Now also baby original. Justice and law solicitors. We are based in Brixton, Unit 35B 49 Efra Road, London SW2 1BZ. Say opeso be here. Yeah, Monday to Friday because of COVID-19. To say you go office on Saturdays because Saturdays almost use that to do something called deep cleaning in the building to make sure say so being put the biaba honma or ma akele off said ya obi emana ominya yare ewo building nimu. And so far so you put in place measures ye di protect ye ho obi so ebi rawa ye di protect no. And measure so book appointment na wo ba no ahye mask amaye because oba na be hu ya office obi ahye mask and you did one more. Yes, I will, all this gel. And also so no be a bar, your man running, sir. Said ya, you be sure you see now, so what's my show who see because a yaria codena, obi nim job be yobi. And I said you obi or what, or do you be not with your crack who know that's what you see. And you know, your best repeat. Yeah, we be able your home or didn't say your bed, you be protected on your time, no, I a bit. Entino, ye bobo, ye homode na yetimi aye de betimi under this difficult condition. Ye na ne betimi e de aye de aboa ye nuanom. Yeah, e betimi abo homode na ye na etimi e de aboa ye nuanom. Say ubetimi afra kebeboa ye because sometimes it's very difficult. Say ye text na ye say read text na ye sa hwe na ye hwe ha. Aya na ema ye nisu bri ye kakra. But you know, we do the best that we can. Time no aso e was say yeko enti da masipi na me enhwɛ mu nyina na next week e be say hye bi mo hwɛ mo ho sie COVID-19 is real, keep it real and keep safe. Justice and law ana bote ye nka no next week e be say babie sa nwumwe ekoma awofo nyinara eno o say the brebre anowa from Kojo Enhwe o say nyame enhyira mo e ma nyame enhyira mo ati nyame enhyira mo nyina enti no ye beko ama obi so aba Yada masipi.
Better you much ramen. Better you much ramen. You was a car, come zika kompa wamana nantimo. You was a car, come messy dine amana demo. Abamawa, mawa bebrama wana suno. Mommy and you are. Oh, I know and you are. Oh, and you'll be out when you want woman in back home. And you'll be out when you want woman in back home. When you get one woman, I'm a mania. Chiraman. Chirose, me tell you so I'm a sorry. The was a come metal shake a man at the moon. You are what the uncle miss your bansura man at the moon. I thought my baby, I wanna soon know. Papa, it's your man. Oh, I just see a man. I wouldn't listen to Papa about by you. And you're me on, I wouldn't listen to Papa about by you. Why you me? Upon me who by you, Papa, I'm in you. My own young to go, tell me one in Bible. Tell me about me, wanna say. What do you say?